What's going on, folks? What's going on, people? This is Kish, Yardie Gaming Nation. I'm here to review a after-hour show from Anton Daniels, and I think Angry Man showed up at the last moment. It was a discussion between 2K, Ali, and Anton, and Mika, and the brother here on in the red and Quentin up there. Um, I titled this "While Black Men Fail," and Angry Man made some points, and Anton Daniel made some points. And I think those points really need to be talked about because a lot of black men, while they fail, is that they'll see a woman that's giving them problems. They'll see a woman that is not willing to follow them, or they see a problem. They see the red flags that a woman is projecting. They'll see that this woman is a hoe. They see that this woman is a bad person, and they'll still keep engaging with them instead of being cold blooded and just walking the fuck up off of them. Now, based upon how I've seen black culture operate, that kind of thing is kind of programmed into most black men because most black men are raised up by a single mother. You know what I'm saying? And hear a lot of the rhetoric from the past at your church. If you go watch the old Cosby shows, even with Fresh Prince, a lot of these things are programmed into black men's psychology to sit there and deal with disrespect, especially if you grow up in a single mother household where your mother is, how you say, very mentally abusive and talks down about you a lot. You don't really value yourself as a man and the things you have done. You know what I'm saying? That's why now, in today's day and age, nobody respects a man's success and the things he has done with his masculinity, like with Anton Daniels or the Angry Man, that they make a lot of money or they've reached to a high status of success or hypergamy, is because we've been devaluing the success of what a black man has been able to do with his masculinity. And in black culture, because we've been operating of what women say is masculinity, whatever a black man does, I don't think it's ever gonna be enough. That's why niggas can say, come out here and say, a man, you are not what you do. You are who. What is how they say it? You're not what you do. You are who you are. Something to that effect. Which I can agree with that. But at the same time, because two things can be true at the same time, is that because of my identity as a man, my capability to go out there and become a six-figure earner, or to be a top MMA fighter, or to be a go out there and put myself in that position to dominate whatever field I choose to be in, or choose whatever I choose to do, says something about my identity and who I am as a man. And I think when people say, and I think for black men, I think our identity has been played with a lot. You know what I'm saying? This is why I say that the matriarchy messed up messed up black men when it comes to leadership skills. Because the matriarchy doesn't train black men from an objective standpoint. It trains them how to be that way for the women. Whereas if it was a patriarchy, a father may have his own personal individual way how he wants to be in his life, but he's gonna raise his son to think for himself and be objective for himself, even if they disagree. You see what I'm saying? And then women tend to program their men with the BS that they're programmed with. That's how Eve bit that apple and then tricked Adam to eat it. You see what I'm saying? But and there's a reason why the serpent went to Eve and not Adam, because men are not easily programmed. You know what I'm saying? Men are critical thinkers. You know what I'm saying? That's why the serpent went to Eve and not Adam, because women are more weaker or susceptible to programming and susceptible to other bullshit, especially if they're sexually attracted to that thing or they like that thing, or whatever reason why. You know what I'm saying? But in this review, we're going to review why um, black men fail in the dating game, in the dating market. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna start from here. This is a long shit to review because Angry Man came in late, and I might fast forward a bit in here. But let's go ahead. And I'm just reviewing this on the fly, so I don't have any notes written down or preconceived thought. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going with this on the fly. And there's things that Mika say that I disagree, that she says that I disagree with. But we're gonna go ahead and review this.
You want?
So,
But to go to his point though, it's what I just said though. Like you want to understand women. I thought the whole point of a red pill or manosphere space is to understand and then exactly what women think and may not tell you. You're like, that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't matter if it makes sense. I'm
Mika, I don't think you see. This is why Angry Man needs to be able to go on to these these mainstream media platforms or these public media platforms, so that Angry Man, one of the architects or structure of the manosphere, can tell you what was the manosphere created for. And I think Angry Man said that him, O'Shea Duke, and I think Obsidian, and I think Minister Jap, they built the Black Manosphere now to help black men, not to really understand women, but to help black men get themselves together. Now, when it came to the context of women, now you have to give the men. I think that was something secondary. When dealing with relationships, how to be a boss in your relationship, how to level up, how to set rules and guidelines. So I think the primary thing, as I gathered from Angry Man and Obsidian or O'Shea Duke, I think those are the three founders of it, is that the main. Well, I think from what I heard from Angry Man, he said that the original manosphere was the white manosphere. And he said that, I think he said that black male issue wasn't really talked about in the white manosphere, which I could kind of see that because a lot of the white dudes in the manosphere, they can be a bit racist over there. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why a lot of women got into the white manosphere is because they allowed that to happen. So Angry Man, I think him, O'Shea Duke, and a couple other folks, they separated themselves and created the Black Manosphere, which was the Manosphere 2.0. And I think for the Black Manosphere, that was specific to help black men level up themselves in the game. You see what I'm saying? And I think the secondary thing came with dealing with women. You know what I'm saying? So it's not necessarily what Mika said. It was the understanding of women, but I don't think that was the primary reason why the manosphere was created.
telling you what they're going to do. A lot of benefit from what.
Now I agree with Mika. Like, you got to tell these men what how women are. You got to expose the bad behavior. That's why I disagree that when people disagree with people when people say that it's better to call out women or it's better to expose women. If you're in a leadership position, you're supposed to expose things in your community or in your house that is going wrong. You see what I'm saying? So so Mika's correct. The problem with women is the problem I have with women is because they're very subjective. One woman will say one thing, another woman will say another thing, and they're not going to always tell you to be honest and straight up forward with you and tell you the truth. But so far, Mika's correct. You know what I'm saying?
Other
In that
women do,
instance.
whether it's right or wrong, right? And so a lot of women won't jump out there and say, "Oh, don't have her, don't have." Just like a lot of women won't say anything um about promiscuous women, right? Because if it comes to a point where promiscuous women or women don't have to worry about body count, it helps other women. So that's all I'm saying. Like there.
And see that's the problem, right? Because on the men's side, we hold each other accountable for a nigga being a player, for a nigga that's going around smashing and passing, for a nigga that's not for a nigga that's lying like P. Diddy, right? We hold P. Diddy accountable to the up pile. Be exposing P. Diddy right now for his bad actions and deeds, right? So that's the issue I have with the matriarchy or the sisterhood, is because the matriarchy, y'all will sit there and y'all will let the hoe be equal to the housewife, or you'll let the hoe be equal to the lady, and the ladies they will not call out the hoe's bad behavior or the promiscuous bad behavior. Then when you don't do that now, and your men have to go through the dating market, and it's difficult to find a lady or a woman because now the 304s and the ladies all speak the same thing, almost. You know what I'm saying? Hoes go to church. Hoes help you do your taxes. Hoes help you do your resume, just like the lady will. Hoes can cook and clean, just like the lady can cook and clean. Hoes can transfer over to be a good woman. You see what I'm saying? And because of that now, that's what's tainted the market. And I'm not saying that the men have nothing to do with that. And this because the men who are out there um being players of max, engaging in hookup culture, lying to women, etc., they contribute to tainting the market too, as does promiscuous women, right? And why I said that is because the promiscuous women, while they were out there, they were also lying to guys too. They were also running game on the dudes too. We always talk about the social contract and how the women broke the social contract. You know what I'm saying? To go do hookup culture or to be in feminism. So now, if you're a traditional guy today, or you're just a guy with good morals and principles, and you have standards now you have to go through a market that has been tainted by the generation of men and women that came before you. You see what I'm saying? And even if you have game and you know how to discern whether this is a bad woman or this is a good woman, by the time you figure out that this is a bad person, you already got somewhat burnt by it. You see what I'm saying? Because there's no way you're going to tell that this person is a bad person if you don't have some kind of interaction or some kind of conversation with the person. You know what I'm saying? And when I say interaction now, you now have to approach this chick. Say you approach a chick that's at that moment in time, she's dressed up modestly at that moment in time. Then you take her out on a date and she's dressing modest at that point. She's behaving herself. She hasn't shown any signs of red flags. Then now, as you continue to vet her now, 2 or 3 months down the line, come to find out she has a whole OnlyFans model. You click on her Instagram, she's doing OnlyFans, and a lot of these women are very good of erasing their past. But later down the line, you just found out that this chick that you met when you approached her, went on a date with her, and was dating for her for 3 to 6 months. She's a whole demon. You know what I'm saying? Now, the accountability I put on the dudes now is once you find out that this person is a whole demon, you have to let that go or walk away from that person. The problem is now that when a guy's playing the numbers game, he has to go through about 50 demons before he found that one angel. So this is the issue I have with Mika now, right? Because when the women don't call out other bad women, when the women don't even teach their sons how to differentiate between bad women and good women, because even though you're a I'm not saying Mika's a single mother, I'm talking about single mothers in general, and you're raising a son, you can still teach your son about putting on condoms. You can still teach your son about what a 3 or 4 is, what a good woman is, what a bitch is. You can still teach your sons this. But a lot of women in black culture now, a lot of them are exactly that, the 304 and the bitch. So now a lot of you single mothers have to explain to your son, hey, you should stay away from this type of woman. Then at the same time, you're that type of woman that you're telling your son to stay away from. You see what I'm saying? And that's the issue what I have with the matriarchy. That's what I have an issue with the sisterhood, that y'all don't call out each other or hold each other accountable. When y'all don't do that, it creates more of the 304s or the strag demons or the strag villains or the stragonicials. Shout out to Angry Man, because you came up with the word strag and we just all modifying the word and innovating the word. You know what I'm saying? So let's continue.
There's certain things that women have.
Features kind of getting good. When I first started doing live, I was just jumbling up and down. I'm still doing it, but I'm getting better as I'm talking. I'm not really a extrovert like that. I don't really talk like that. I'm mostly quiet and thinking in my head. You know what I'm saying? But um, why I started doing these lives anyway is to kind of get my thoughts out about certain things that I see going on, based upon my experience in the dating game or in life in general. You know what I'm saying? Growing up in New York, born in Brooklyn, raised in Queens. So anyway, let's continue.
Have that they're just not going to they're not going to address with other women. And so if
Yeah.
it's something,
So Anton,
But I think
can you
that's
hear
the
me well?
problem. Yeah.
yeah, it's a
Can y'all
problem,
hear
but
me?
I'm
Oh,
telling you what it is.
we hear you. So
That's the problem.
this how I
Again, according to Mika, right? Why should black men call out the dudes that's out here that's smashing and dashing? Right? Why should black men call out the dudes out who are out here lying and being dishonest? You see what I'm saying? The black, and I'm not saying that black men should be out here lying or being dishonest to women. But meanwhile, we have to be consistent to benefit women, to be a benefit to women. Women are allowed to lie and not have to be held to a standard to be beneficial to the men. And then we expect men now who want to be traditional, like a Ali, like the brother in the red, or maybe Quentin, or we expect those type of dudes in the dating market now to be quality masculinity or premium masculinity, premium black men, and to date a sea full of trash. You know what that's to be? You know what that's do? And I think Angry Man talks about it. He talks about the reward and punishment. You know what that does? That rewards the dating field of trash with premium masculinity that the trash does not qualify for. So now I'm a premium man, and I go on a date, and I don't know if this chick is a hoe or not. They come to find out that she's a hoe. She could come back around and say, "Yo, she was on a date with a quality dude." By me approaching a chick, by me being a premium traditional guy, and me approaching a woman that's a 304, or approaching a chick and then getting her number and then having her go on a date with me, that's rewarding. That's rewarding women who do not qualify. That's like the military having a standard that says, "Yo, we're gonna turn you into the baddest Marine, and we're gonna turn you into the baddest uh, Army combatant." But you have to meet this. You have to be of this quality human being before you join here. You know what I'm saying? You can't be flat footed. You can't be over 200 pounds. You have to be of a certain IQ level. You have to be A, B, C, and D. But now I decide now to lower my standards to allow you into my military branch. And then, so that's the military rewarding people who do not qualify to get the benefits and the training of what a military has to offer you. That's rewarding. That's rewarding people who don't qualify. So off rip, if you have a premium dude out here and he's dating a sea full of bad women in the black culture, that's still rewarding black women as a whole with premium masculinity that they do not qualify for. Let's continue.
this how we go from no did it to mo did it. Okay.
2K is funny.
My thing is, how can in 2024, how can you discipline a woman? How can you make a woman listen?
That's what I keep trying
Okay,
to say.
so this is why I say Mo did it. Because if this billionaire man can't get this woman to listen and you finance her whole lifestyle, then what else
Don't
can you do? Like realistically,
don't
my
do
kid,
it.
if my kids didn't listen to me, I can whoop them. If my kids didn't do what I say, I can whoop them. I do
Don't
everything
do
for
it.
my kids that I do for my wife, but for some reason I can't whoop her.
Listen,
Why?
2K. You can't listen. You cannot discipline a woman that don't respect you. And at that point, this is where the black men fail. At at that point, if she won't listen to you, let her go or fire her from your job. Because what's going to happen now is if we go to that mode, it's going to be like the East over there with them Arabs. Them Arabs over there in Iran and Iraq and Dubai, they rule with an extreme iron fist, my dude. And those women over there, they don't follow those men out of love and respect. They follow those men out of fear. And there's nothing deadlier than a woman that can plot on you, plot your downfall. You see what I'm saying? That's why those Arab women, when they come over to the States and they have a little bit, a whole lot more freedom, a paradise of freedom, they go buck wild. That's why a lot of women, women like the Arab women, like Asian women, like women outside of the out of the U.S. That's why when they date Black American men, even Caribbean men, because Caribbean Black men, we're pretty lax. For as toxic as they claim we are, we're pretty lax. That's why a lot of those women outside of the Black diaspora culture, when they date Black men from the diaspora or from America, from the Caribbean, it's like a paradise for them because they're not dealing with a dictator type leadership. They're dealing with maybe with a more benevolent type leadership. You see what I'm saying? So like, but I do understand what 2K is saying. I could whoop my child if that my child don't listen, but you can't whoop the woman if she don't listen. That I understand what 2K is saying, but we can't do that though. We can't do that though. Because now, especially in this day and climate, because all that's going to do, because I think that's what created the problems. Well, on the white male side, with white men, I think, and I don't even think that was the majority of white men, because the majority of the white men from the Boomer generation, a lot of them were on that happy wife, happy life thing, whole simps in their house. But that's what created the feminist movement, because you had the white women that was a small percentage of society, or the women's suffrage group or whatever, which was the first version or the first prototype to feminism, that were coming from rich, wealthy men. That's their kind of lifestyle. That's why what's his name, Bill Clinton passed the Mann Act based off that Duluth model, which I read. Right, so we can't go back to that. But I do want to address something though that I noticed. You see, when Diddy messes up in the game, or when men mess up in the dating game, we get punished and be held accountable. But the women don't. Now, I'm not saying there should be something as extreme as whooping a woman's ass. No, no, no. But there should be some kind of dating social credit score where if the last relationship you left out that dude, you cheated on that dude, you put your hands on that dude, you didn't listen to that dude, you didn't follow that dude's instructions. There should be some kind of way where it tanks your dating score for a woman. You know what I'm saying? That way, and then in order for you to date back again, you have to take a year off. You got to go to therapy. You got to do a rehab or something. And then you have to bring back up your dating points. Or you're not allowed to date this type of man again. Something. I do agree there needs to be some kind of like punishment so that it could be something like how when you're in New York City, right? And you run a stoplight, the cops are going to give you a fine or a ticket. But you have to go to court and pay that ticket. If you keep running the light and you keep having to pay that ticket, they're going to eventually take your license. Something like that. Because there's a punishment on men when we dating ineffectively and we out here lying to women, or we cheating on women, or in this case with Diddy. So there need to be something like that implemented in the dating market. So I kind of agree with China now, as far as the social credit score and shit. I kind of agree with China. But let's continue.
She can get you whooped too. That's the thing. She can get you whooped and violated. The only person you can't touch is the woman.
But see what I'm saying? Like, listen, in 2024, seriously, what can you do? Like, Anton, you big on, hey, check your bitch. How can I check my bitch if there's nothing I can do to her but yell at her? You
But
think
didn't you know
husband?
that? But okay, didn't you know that law before you got married?
Keep
No, I
deflecting away
told
from
y'all
the point,
we
Mika.
never.
Mika,
No,
you
No,
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 no.
no.
It's
I
not
get it. No,
deflecting.
I get
it
his
is
point.
it's deflecting.
I'm in
No, no,
agreement.
no.
But I'm speaking to the point that I said earlier. And what
No, no.
I'm saying is, go ahead.
Let me say something about what Mika's saying. If that's the case, then men shouldn't be getting married, Mika. Men should not be getting married, according to that, Mika. The fact that you chose to accept those vows to go into that relationship with that man, nothing in those vows say you have to say that you're supposed to be disrespecting your man, not listening to your man, not obeying your man's instructions. Nothing in those vows say that. This is what I'm saying. So the fact that a woman is going to break those marriage vows to be disrespectful to a man, right there, she should lose some marriage points or something right there. And a man should be able to say, well, when we got married, we accepted these vows that we were going to respect each other. You were going to obey me. You was going to listen to me, and now you don't want to listen to me. So guess what? This is a reason for why we got a divorce. This is why I don't believe it's always the man's fault. Now, at the same time, I do agree you got to vet a woman properly and all this blah blah at school and all these good things. And you got to play the numbers game and dating. I agree with all of that, but at the same time, there are a lot of men out here that are doing that, are being solid dudes, and they still getting that same result where that woman is being disrespectful. But to Mika's point, then men shouldn't get married to y'all. Then you know what I'm saying? And this is to the lawmakers. The fact that you're creating these laws and you're reading in the game that, and I think a lot of these laws are operating off the Duluth model where it's always the man's fault and the woman can do nothing wrong. But when you look at the Duluth model's power wheel, everything in that power wheel, women can do that to men too. And I might do a review on the Duluth model in a bit, right? So let's continue.
We keep telling brothers to vet better, look for the red flags, move on to the other woman. Nobody is addressing the quality of woman and how bad it's gotten from her getting no redirection,
It's
no
very bad.
ramifications. She don't, so she can do whatever she wants to do without being. That's why I asked you the question and you made it.
And that's why I agree with Ali right at that point. I agree with Ali in that instance. There's nothing there for you to do. See, now when niggas get into space and they say, well, the reason why I don't deal with bad women is because I don't put myself in that position to deal with a bad woman, which I agree, because I hold myself accountable and responsible for that. But the most a man could do is ghost. That doesn't stop that woman from being bad. The fact that you have to hold yourself accountable and responsible and leave when you see a bad woman or woman that's giving you problems. Who's the person? Who's the common denominator in that? Where's the problem coming from that you have to avoid? Or hold yourself accountable to not deal with or engage with. Who's the problem at that point? The woman. And if you're not, it's like New York City again. New York City has a law, or one of its laws is says, um, when you enter the MTA, do not jump the turnstile. Or which people still do that, but because there's a law that tells you do not jump the turnstile, when you get caught jumping the turnstile, the police are going to get the turnstile. The police are going to give you a ticket, and you can't say you didn't know. And that's the whole point about giving what, as I said earlier, some kind of punishment award kind of system that takes away points from women when they misbehave or they respond with disrespect to a man or they respond with red flags to a man. Because the red flags that Ali is talking about is it's not a red flag um like a woman's how should I say? Like a red flag will be a chick not showing up to a date on time, or a chick being disrespectful to you. Maybe she put threw water on you. Maybe she stole money from you. Maybe she stole from you. Maybe she's not right emotionally. So those are the kind of red flags that we're talking about, right? A general red flag that all men can sit there objectively look at it and agree with that. Say, yo, a woman that has emotional problems, a woman that's always late and wishy washy, a woman that likes to put her hands on dudes. That's an objective red flag we all can agree with, right? So that's what Ali is talking about. He's not talking about like, maybe the chick nose is too big or something. Yeah, because that's something she can't control. Ali's talking about the red flags that women showcase to you that let you know, oh shit, I need to redirect myself from this person. But guess what's going to happen if you don't address that, or you don't call that bad behavior out, or if you don't put a system in play to punish those type of women by taking away dating points from them so they can't keep getting to date, is that they're going to continue to be a problem. This is why you have a passport bro movement. This is why you have a soft guy era. Because those men are saying, bro, I'm going to charge all these women to the game to find options better somewhere else. Better options somewhere else to sit here and deal with modern women. And then the dudes get on the line on the internet and say, nah, you niggas ain't real men and you niggas is punks because you won't sit here and keep dealing with poison women. Which makes no logical sense. And by the way, I know there's niggas in these spaces that say you need to have game, and this is the game and how you deal with a strag or a 304 or bad of women. You gotta have you gotta see the red flags. You gotta be able to reject a chick, charge a chick to the game when you see it, even though you're engaging with the bear trap or you're engaging with in a deadly force. You gotta have your bone axe. You gotta have your bow and arrow. You gotta have bulletproof vest and shit. Listen. Understand that. But as I brought up before, that's like a say you have a police officer, right? And he has a bulletproof vest and he's on the job. He's on the clock. Well, guess what? The reason why he's running that bulletproof vest is because he's doing a dangerous job where he could be called to a 911 emergency when there's a shootout going on, right? And that's his job. Now, just because he has a bulletproof vest on, he has a gun, he has everything he has on to help him survive that situation. That doesn't mean he still can't get hurt. That doesn't mean he still can't get shot and his life taken from him or deleted. So just because you guys are in the dating market and you're dating strags and you have the ability now that while you're smashing that strag, even though you're wearing a condom, you told her to go get tested and all those other things is happening, that doesn't mean you still can't get burned by a strike. Because one thing I know about strikes, coming from Brooklyn, East New York, right? Liberty and Glenmore. One thing I know, just because you decided to stop dealing with that strike, that don't mean that strike gonna stop dealing with you. Right? So that's what it's like. It's like you now having a bulletproof vest, and you say, you know what, I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna go over here in the middle of some bullets because I got a bulletproof vest on. You still can get shot and lose your life. That's what it's like when you do it on the internet, and you're saying because I got game now, I could go deal with hoes, I could go deal with an Instagram model, I could go deal with these tracks. That's why Fresh got caught up, Fresh and Fit. That's how he got caught up. A lot of dudes say, "Nah, that would never happen to me." Well, guess what? You could have a condom on. You could have told this chick what to do. She could still come out and lie on your ass because what? She's a strag. And the chick that Fresh was dealing with, she was an Oriental strag. Straga Han. Straga Egg Fu Yuk. Straga Tukiyomi. Straga Hanzo Hasashi. Straga Sashi. Right? You could have clapped the strag cheek with condoms on. You could have told the strag to go get protected. You could have told the strag, this is how it's going to go. And because she didn't get that strag didn't get what she wanted to get from you, What she could do is go on the internet and lie on you and say what she could do. She could go smash another nigga raw, get pregnant by the nigga a bum, and then lie and say you got her pregnant. Go on the internet and tarnish your name. And no matter how much you tell the truth, because the whole world is believe all women and it's always a man's fault. For instance, in the past, right? Even though it was proven with Brian Banks and the Duke lacrosse team, even though it was proven that they didn't do it, those men still carry. And here's the thing: Brian Banks didn't even deal with the chick that lied on him or lied on him, but he's still going to carry that stigma that, yo, he what you call essayed this girl. The Duke lacrosse, even though they didn't do what they did to that chick, they still carry with that stigma of them that they essayed that girl. I don't know plenty of dudes from my personal experience growing up in Brooklyn and in New York that they didn't do anything. They did everything they were supposed to do, and the chick lied on them and got them killed, or deleted my bad YouTube, or lied on them, and they either had to go to jail, or look how the child support system is set up, right? Where you could literally accuse somebody of being the baby daddy and they could come scoop you up. That's crazy off of accusation. So, and you expect me as a leader or the head of my house or my community not to call out that bad behavior, or it's better to call out that bad behavior coming from the women? If we don't call that out, it's going to keep happening. That's we've been calling out the men's bad behavior, right? And black men have stepped up their game. Why we can't do that for the women? Black men hold themselves accountable. Why aren't the black women holding themselves accountable and following the black man's lead, being the reflection of that accountable black man?
You made it about you, and you tied it into an individually what the man can do. As a mass, women cannot do any wrong. Even she puts her kid up for adoption.
I don't agree. I don't agree. But you're talking to
no. You did it again. You said I. You keep saying I.
Hold on. And there are lots of women that don't. I said that. There are a lot of women that don't, and we get drowned out by the rest of them. I said that earlier.
I disagree with that, Mika. Y'all could be just as loud on YouTube as those hyenas. Female lions roar in the damn savannah too. Female gorillas make noise. It's either you're being drowned out or you choose not to speak. Because of what you said earlier, that the reason why the good women don't call out the promiscuous women, because it's not going to be beneficial to them.
So to me, the problem.
Okay, there's a segment of women. Okay, this is a group, segment of women that do not agree with the norms for women. However, we're not a majority. We are drowned out. So nobody listens to that.
You're doing you.
But Mika, right now,
Mika, I disagree with that, Mika. Or maybe I do agree with that. But either way, just because because y'all don't give black men that excuse. You don't give black men the excuse of that the majority of dudes is out here smashing and lying, and that a small minority of dudes is doing what they're supposed to be doing, and we can't really speak up or talk out and hold those dudes accountable. We're not being heard. We don't get that excuse. And the stats prove that the majority of black men, or in general, the majority of black men are doing what they're supposed to do and solid. That's why you have Anton Daniels out here speaking, Man speaking, and Ali speaking, and the brother and the rest speaking. But we don't get that excuse. And you can't say that your voices are being drowned out because you have social media. I get it if we didn't have YouTube, we didn't have Facebook, we didn't have Twitter. Too much social media are ways for women to, for you good women out there, to express yourself and talk your shit. But guess what? I see a lot of you good women partnered up with the hyenas. I see a lot of female lionesses going to the hyenas, into the hyena den. And y'all don't even make it a thing to separate yourself from them. You said it earlier, Mika. So don't get mad if now black men and black culture say, since y'all won't speak your ass up, because the good black men speak up. Anton Daniels, he's speaking up. He's vulnerable enough to come out here and talk about his life. And look at the hate Anton Daniels get. And a lot of brothers that come on this YouTube, like a Ricky Williams, like a DJ Hamp, that come out and they're speaking. Even though in the black community, the main masculine influence that has been influencing black culture has always been the pimp, the Mac, the player. Those are the masculine influences in the black community that's been reigning supreme for a minute. And yet, despite all of that, good black men still found a way to show up and express themselves and showcase themselves. So I'm not going to let y'all rest with that, excuse that, because the majority of black women are out here in the madness that they're drowning out the good women. No, the good women are choosing to lay with the bad women. You're choosing not to speak up. That's the problem.
You talking about unicorns when we talking about horses.
Right. Why are you even talking about that?
Yeah, like that's not the mass. Like, so we probably will never meet you ever in our life. You won't come around for us. My thing is,
yeah, dude, I know Mika in real life.
Us, nigga, not you, nigga. Us, nigga, the masses.
Go ahead, man.
Yeah, the masses. So my thing is, the way what Diddy was doing to Cassidy is what our granddaddies did to our grandma.
No, it's who?
No, it's not.
No.
I disagree with UK on that one.
I'm not jumping on this train, but he is 100% right on that.
He was wrong. If she was,
I disagree with Anton on that.
In the East.
But
if most of our granddaddies was happy life, happy wife and shit, nigga, how would they abusing their damn? Hold on, happy as far as the bloomers. As far as the bloomers, if the majority of I don't know about the silent generation or the greater generation, and I'm a Caribbean, so a silent generation grandfather that I had, he passed in 2018, and a silent generation grandmother that I had, she passed 2 years ago. I never heard any of them. Now, this is my personal thing. Well, in Caribbean culture, shit. Anton may be right.
But
you may be right.
You got to preface that with she was
he
out of
may
line.
be right.
But listen,
she was out of
line.
line.
I'm over there a lot. I'm very versed on the East.
Listen, slavery was wrong too. Look, I'm with you, 2K, as far as what the past used to be. But we
no. Here how it go. Because Caribbean men, our voice is loud, and because of the environment we grew up in, we have to be masculine and rough and kind of tough. So it may appear as we're being abusive, but we're not. We're just telling our woman hush. And then when a Jamaican nigga do a hush move to his girl, and she just hush up, and because our voice is loud and we're rough and we're just rough with our women and shit, it can appear as we're being abusive, but according to today's standard, but we're not. And a lot of times in Caribbean culture, especially in Jamaican culture, Trinidadian culture, Ghanese culture, if those men are not like that, what is going to happen is that Caribbean chick is going to do this, is going to run you over in an abusive physical way. So if you're not a physically imposing dude, loud voice, those black women over there in black Caribbean culture, they're going to be abusive to you physically. They're going to be pushing their hand in your face and shit, slapping you in the face. And if you don't say, hey, God, hush up. Yeah.
Our hands on people, bro. That is unreasonable.
Well, okay,
I agree.
I get it. But what can we do after that?
What do you
No, so
mean?
Okay.
Come on,
no, this is
time out.
this is why.
Because every time I ask the question, I never receive an answer.
No, I got an
If-
answer for you.
No. Okay, so hold on. Before you go, Anton, let's go around and see. As a man in 2024, and my girl won't listen to me, what can I do to make her listen that will be effective?
But wait, okay.
Leave her ass.
Wait. Before
No,
you even say
Get
that,
the fuck out of there.
no. That's the solution too. But here's the question. First of all, the first thing that we got to ask ourselves is you even right?
Anton, don't.
No.
Hold on, Anton. See, I'm a Taurus to the bone. My zodiac sign is a Taurus, and I'm always right. I'm always right. And even if it by happens so happenstance I'm wrong, even though I'm right, that still don't give her a reason to not listen to what I'm saying. You see what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I'm the boss.
Let's be
Come
honest,
on,
because a lot of
Come on,
times,
Anton.
listen.
You just did.
No, listen.
No, you got it. That's
I
fair.
gotta be objective. I gotta be objective because just because you mad, don't mean that you're right. Just
Listen,
because you mad, or just because you upset, or just because you angry, do not mean that you're right, bro.
Can we talk about when you right, please? Can we just say you was
Thank
right?
you.
Now, not when
Okay,
the person
all right.
was
So
wrong,
let's
Anton.
put the caveat on there and say you right. All
You
right.
was right. You was right.
All right. So let me reverse it, and I'm gonna speak to your point too. How are you disciplined when you wrong as fuck?
Me?
When you're wrong, because see, when you're wrong, you drag the whole fucking family down.
I agree with that.
When men are wrong, listen, we gonna have the conversation. I gotta be objective on both sides.
Let's go.
She can't discipline you, my nigga.
She can't whoop me.
But the point is that y'all gotta, if y'all are married, y'all supposed to both have a
Two-way
vested
street.
interest in each other being successful. So I shouldn't have to discipline you. I should be able to communicate to you, and then you ultimately see, you know, and I'm not. Here's the thing. All right, so let me use my own situation as an example. I don't ever in life have to put my hands on her. Ever. I will never put my hands on her. But at the same time, she understands that my success is her success. And I also understand that she's a reflection of me when she goes outside. So I just naturally want the best for her. The only reason that disciplining kids work, because it's the difference between disciplining a child and beating on a kid. When you discipline a kid, you can also, especially not spare that rod of correction when they're younger, because the reason why it's effective is because they know that you actually care. You can even discipline a grown person verbally, or you can go off on somebody, and the reason that they'll take it is because they actually know that you care. They know that you got a vested interest in their success. And so if somebody do some fucked up shit, and I say, man, you fucked up, man, what's wrong with you? And then they'll take that shit. They're willing to take it because they know that I'm doing it out of love.
I agree with that. That's how most of us, when we do boxing or we do martial arts or we go to the military, we see the benefit in our drill sergeant yelling at us because we won't complete the push-ups, or our boxing coach or our martial arts instructor, they get on us because when we don't do the proper workout properly, or we don't throw a proper side kick or whatsoever. Because there's a benefit from that, because you're going to be a better martial artist, or you're going to be a better military man, or you're going to be a better individual. And you're looking at it from, this person cares about you succeeding. So I can see it from that point. But I honestly don't think that's how most women look at it. You know what I'm saying? Most women when it comes to dating, and when I say dating, from when you approach them, from which the women have a right not to look at it, because at the end of the day, when you're approaching a chick, she don't know who you are. She don't know if you're a good person or a bad person. This is the same goes for her. But at the same time, it doesn't give her a right to be disrespectful to you or any of that. Same thing goes for the guy. Because she rejects you or she doesn't take your number, it doesn't give you the right to do that to her. But that's already established on the man's side. But I agree with Anton on that point. Um, Now my thing though is when it comes to the women is when I dated you for a year or 3 years, you was respectful and you listened to me. You took my advice, you took my instructions. That's why I married you. Now that we're in this marriage, what made you decide now to now no longer follow me or disrespect me? Because you did it all through the dating process, all through the vetting process. After I made you my girlfriend, we were girlfriend and boyfriend for about 4 years before I gave you a ring. Now that we're in a marriage, and now you're being disrespectful to me. What will make a woman do that? If you were respectful to that guy all the way through, what's making you lose interest now that you're in a marriage? So that's my only pushback with Anton. Because I can see what 2K is saying. He's saying, what do I do when this woman that knows that I care about her, because that's what Anton is saying, knows that I have a vested interest in her, knows all these things, and she doesn't want to listen to me. And when I try to communicate clear and concise, she still doesn't listen to me. That's a good question. Let's see how Anton answers.
They know that I'm doing it out of love, and I'm not doing it because I'm just want to haul off on
This cow.
That's not
Listen,
cap, bro.
Usually when children are being disciplined by their parents, at the time they do not understand why.
That's
they
true,
think mama
but it
dead
doesn't.
ass
It
wrong
still
for whooping
doesn't
that
mean.
I agree.
Do people not talk?
That's why a lot of millennials is being entitled, right? We speak about the millennials being entitled or Gen Z being entitled because they Gen X parents or their boomer parents didn't do A, B, C, and D. Maybe because they couldn't afford it or whatever the issue was, and now the millennials and Gen Z feel entitled. When you know what I'm saying, well, honestly, as 2K said, they really didn't they didn't really understand why they were being disciplined for that thing. You know, they didn't understand that why mama or pops couldn't buy them that phone or why they couldn't take them to certain things because maybe mama and pops was broke and they couldn't afford it, honestly. Right?
For them to understand at that time. They learn and they understand it later.
That is true. That is true. If you touch the stove and you get your ass whooped, now when you go outside, because wow, the stove is dangerous, it's hot. You got your ass whooped for touching the stove. Now later on, when you're in the real world and you're walking down this dark alley, or you're walking down a spot in a place that you see is dangerous, you can feel it's dangerous. You know what you're gonna think about, man? The last dangerous object that I encountered, there was pain from it. Let me avoid this situation. So that is true.
Listen, but know not to run no more.
But you listen it. It's not whether or not they understand it. It's whether or not it's right. And disciplining a child is right when you're doing it for the right reason. But beating on a child because you're angry is what makes it a problem.
Yeah,
it is a difference. It's a difference.
What Anton just said is how a lot of black men and black women, but mainly black men, are raised by their single mother. That single mother is going to whoop their ass out of anger and frustration. You know what I'm saying? She could be coming home from a work stressed out job and take out that stress on you because what you may have turned over the water in the kitchen or something, or especially you're a Caribbean child, and so you spill some water in the kitchen, or because I remember, I'll speak on my mother, right? I would sometimes drink the sweet milk or the carnation milk, and she would need that milk to get up in the morning and pour it into the coffee for her to go to work. And when we would do it, she'd go in there and go berserk, crazy, call us all kind of names or call me all kind of names. And today, we would kind of bring up those instances where she did that, and she has no remember of it. She doesn't really remember it. Or the ones where she does remember it, which I think is cap, she do remember. When she does remember it, she makes an excuse for it. But at the time, she did that out of stress, frustration, and rage. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure there's a lot of Caribbean folks out there that experience that same thing where you may have drank some of your that sweet carnation milk that they put in the coffee to make it sweet, right? I know that a lot of you Caribbean folks out there. I don't know if this happens with Black Americans when you would drink some of that milk and your mama would get pissed. You'd get your ass whooped, or she say all kind of crazy shit to you. So
I'm not talking about that. That's absolutely out of pocket.
Okay, so now here's the other part of it. Why don't you beat the kid when they get older, but you instill that discipline in them when they're younger?
Because they are no under my guidance and protection.
No.
The
I'm talking about.
no.
See, I don't.
When your child, 2K, when your child becomes 12, 13, 15, and 16, they're an adult. And you can't be beating on your child at that point. You give them the discipline at the kid, but you can't really be beating on your children like that. The only thing you could do at that point when they're 16 is, when they're being disrespectful or they're not following your instruction, is disown them or walk away from them at that point. You can't really whoop them again at that point. And the things with a woman and a child is that a woman is a grown adult, right? So you can't really be whooping up on another grown adult like that. You can give her instructions. You can have that harsh talk with her or something, but you can't really be whooping on them because this is an adult. The only thing you have in that situation is to get away from that person or leave that person alone. But after this, I'm gonna skip to the part where
I don't put my hands on my daughter. She's 16 years old. When she was a child, and I was looking to instill some certain things in her, then I was more willing to not spare that rod of correction and lay that on her.
Right.
But I don't do that when she's 16 because she's aware. She's situationally aware.
Exactly.
And everything that you put into her is supposed to already be there. I shouldn't have to put my hands on her right now. She should be able to hear my voice and understand.
Right. See, that rules applies to adult women like Mika. Mika, before, or not specifically just to Mika, but in general, women in general, because you're an adult and you decided to, when I approached you, you accepted my number when I took you out on a date. You're supposed to already know how to conduct yourself as an adult grown person when you're on a date and you're in the presence of a man, especially if that man is premium. Just like when you go to your job, you know how to respect your boss, you know how to respect your coworkers. Just like when you go to a store, you know how to respect the people in the store. Like you go to Walmart, you know how to respect the rules of Walmart. You know what's going to happen, or you're self-aware, as Anton says, that if you break a rule in Walmart, Walmart is going to call the police and escort you out, right? So I think as men, where black men fail at is that we keep looking at black women as these innocent people or these people that can't understand, that are not grown adults that can think for themselves or self-aware. And I think we keep giving them, how should I say this, right? Because a lot of times in these spaces you hear from, I think, I forgot this bald-headed dude name, not Anton. He always got a red shirt on. He always addressing these women as children, which I disagree with that. And I think Angry Man's going to touch on that. Is because these are grown adults that's been living a life, right? And I think as men, when you don't give them that life lesson or consequence of, if you do this, I'm not going to speak to you. If you do this, you're not going to get access to dating me. If you do A, B, C, and D, then I'm not going to mess with you no more. Right? They're never going to learn that lesson. And the problem why I say, well, black men fail, because even if, say, 60 to 70% or even 80% of black men step their game up, there's still a 20% that's going to validate the women's nonsense. And that's why I think black men fail at. And this is what 2K issue is. Or the issue I have with 2K's talk about. I don't have an issue with 2K personally or Yardie personally. But I think it's the issue with them. And then their solution to it is to whoop up on the person. No, you can't whoop up on a grown adult.
that, hey, I'm doing something wrong and I respect you enough to listen to what you got to say. And it's the same thing when it comes to my wife. She should be able to hear my voice and respect me enough and say, you know what? I hear what you got to say. And I want to take that into consideration because I actually love you. But I don't think that it's love in a lot of these conversations and it's a lot of these relationships, which is one of the reasons why it's difficult for y'all to be able to control your chick.
No, a lot of the relationships is black men in situations with hoes, in situations with 304s, in situations with of us, to be honest with you. That's why a lot of black men fuck up in the beginning. Because when you approach a chick, you see that this chick is a strike, half her titties out. And even if she was dressing modest for that moment, you could check her Instagram and see that she's shaking ass on the Instagram or she has her OnlyFans. And you still go date that person. You still engage. Now, get it if you're a dude out here and you're just out here smashing and dashing, cool. But you still need to have standards when it comes to that. Right? But yeah, this is why I say I love the Black Manosphere. I fucks with Anton. I fucks with Angry Man. I fucks with a lot of these black male spaces. But yet we have to understand that these spaces that black men have created, holding black women accountable to something and holding black men accountable to something, or making black men aware of these games that have been played, has only been around for maybe 10 years. With the starting point being Sotomayor back in 2009. So it's only been about maybe 10 years, over 10 years, something like that. And I think Angry Man came out in 2015. Anton Daniels, I think he came out maybe 5-6 years ago. Kevin Samuels, he came out, I think, around the same time maybe as Angry Man, right? These spaces have been around for a decade. This feminism thing and this matriarchal thing has held black men in an ineffective leadership role for the past 60 years, which is more than half a century. A decade a decade and some change, more than a century that's been going on. Right? So this is my opinion based upon me, how I see the game objectively. I think black men, when it comes to dating effect, when it comes to black men, I think we are 75 to 80% when it comes to being successful and finding successful women. In my opinion, from my point of view, because out here in New York City, when I walk down Jamaica Avenue, when I move through Brooklyn, when I walk down Merrick Boulevard, I still see niggas picking the wrong shit. I even see good dudes picking the wrong shit. And again, in black culture, which is why I think everybody hates Anton Daniels and even Ali, because Anton Daniels, they're more traditional. Ali's more traditional. And in black culture, the pimp, the Mac, and the player, those versions of masculinities have been the primary influence in the black community. And the only thing that the women can be is a 304 or a raggedy chick to those kind of dudes. Especially if the players and pimps and Macs are coming from the Bloomer era and the Gen X era. Now, the players and the pimps, they're not the majority of black men. They're a small minority, but they had the loudest voice in the black culture, and the loudest influence. And now that you have traditional guys like Anton there now, it's like the clean glass being put up next to the dirty glass. And that's why a lot of guys on YouTube don't like Anton, because it's another influence. Anton Daniels represents the traditional guy that's in a monogamous relationship, right? And that influence of man, or that masculine influence, can influence the men to step up to a criteria, and it can influence the women to say, "Oh shit! So you mean to tell me there's monogamous men out here? You mean to tell me that there's traditional guys out here that I have to pick myself up to get and earn?" And then what that's going to do now? It's going to attract the good women like a Simone Biles. And then if you get to see more relationships like that, it might shift the community into a different direction than we're at right now. Right now, we're in a stalemate right now. Both black men and black women don't know where they want to go. Niggas don't know if they want to be a player or Mac, and niggas don't know if they want to be traditional. And the hoes know what they're doing, but the women don't. They don't know where to go, because you got niggas in the space that say they won't date a chick if she's a virgin or if she's not having sex. They won't even give her a shot. And then the good dudes, because they got to deal with gold diggers and tricks and all that. Not tricks, gold diggers and 304s and bad women. They won't even give that chick a shot, because that good chick, even though she's a good person, she's not out here being a 304 or strike or hyena, hyena Nika, hyena Tron, right? She's not gonna get a shot because she's gonna be grouped up into the chick that is trying to play a nigga, put the dude in her phone as food, treat the guy as if he a sucker or a trick, not respect him or any of that. So that's what we got going on right now. And to those good women, y'all got to do something to step your game up to differentiate yourself from the chicks out here that are playing dudes and putting them in their phone as food. Y'all got to do something about that, or else you're not going to get chosen. Cool. You're not out here 304. You're not being reckless with your box. I applaud that, but you got to do it. You got to do something different in your game and how you talk and how you walk and how you move. Because right now, y'all sound just like the chick that I would date, and she talk about I got to take her to Rue Chris. That's not where I want to go. And because I hold myself accountable and responsible, I said, first of all, you're not gonna tell me where we gonna go. I'm gonna tell you where we gonna go, because I understand that dynamic. So if you're a good chick, and even though you're a good person, you're a good woman, and you're moving in a way that you don't want to respect me or follow me, or you're not interested in me, I'm not going to choose you. So it's like in the Matrix where Agent Smith can jump into everybody because they have that programming, right? It could be an actual good human being, but because they're part of that matrix or part of that programming, Agent Smith can jump through them and use them to get to Neo or Morpheus or whatsoever. That's how a lot of you women, you good women are. That your soul, that all the programming from the 304s and the pimps and the Macs are in your psychology, that it could be used from you to get to the good dudes. And now that the good dudes are like Neo and they can see the zeros and the ones, and once we see that shit, we're either gonna redirect our direction and go somewhere else. So you good women have to figure out what are you gonna do to step your game up. So you differentiate yourself from the 304s, right? All right, so I'm gonna skip this to the angry man part. Because Angry Man came in as he normally comes in and put the hammer down.
You know why? You know why? Because y'all don't have
you could have took you could have took your wife virginity in high school and she still would have been a good woman.
Facts.
I took virginities in high school, middle school too.
See?
If she educated,
that don't. But we not talking. Listen, that's not what we talking.
I want to review something that Anton said just then. Just then.
Talking about. We not talking about the residual effects. That's.
I want good women to begin with.
And fuck them.
If Rita and Anton divorce, Rita gonna stop being a good woman because she not with Anton no more?
No, here's the thing.
No.
That's the thing. Divorce.
And I want to get to the beginning of this.
Isn't it? See, y'all speaking. No, it wasn't up to her.
She could have asked somebody else to take over dinner.
It wasn't up to her. Basically, the culmination of all of that work and putting it in, and so now you play it a little bit differently. So I could have fucked her over. I could have made her a
Now the premise of this conversation was that because Rita was a good chick, um, was always a good woman, and she stayed a good woman after she had the interaction with Anton Daniels. 2K is saying that it had nothing to do with Anton Daniels; it had to do something with Rita. But two things could be true at the same time. She may have been a good woman before she met Anton Daniels, but because Anton Daniels was a good dude himself, a solid dude himself, she continued to be that good person based upon his leadership or how his influence of her. So because of his influence of her, she said, "You know what? I'm gonna stay a good woman because of Anton." And even if some, which I don't believe that's gonna happen, even if by some BS or some crazy event that I leave Anton, I'm still gonna be a good woman. And I think Anton talks about that with his mother. He said that his mother, after his father died, his mother was able to get another good relationship, a traditional relationship, because she was a good traditional woman. Maybe that's because of the influence of Anton's father, who was her husband, because she remembered how her husband treated her and how she respected her husband, that she was able to take those lessons and carry that over into the next relationship. Or even if she would have never gotten to a next relationship before, she would have still carried over those life lessons, right? So that dynamic between Rita, and I've experienced that dynamic between Rita and Anton, it has to do with the both of them. Because even though before Anton she was a good person, because she met Anton and he was a good person, and he gave her that influence and that covering at that moment in time, it encouraged her to keep being a good person, being a good woman, and to find Anton later on.
A crazy woman or whatever and sent her out here just like the rest of these chicks. But I chose to nurture a good thing because when God says when a man find a wife, he findeth a good thing. And so instead of fucking her over and messing her up, I decided to nurture her, groom her, and make her what I wanted her to be as far as a phenomenal woman. And now what you see today, is basically the culmination of all of that work and putting it in. And so now you seeing a finished product, but you motherfuckers want to come out here, fuck up the game, and then y'all complaining about what the game look like. That's something that y'all created for yourself.
Get yourself. You didn't choose nothing. You didn't choose the best woman for you. Rita chose to be a good woman.
That's not true.
She chose to be a good woman because of Anton's influence.
That's not true.
Listen,
she asked me to take her virginity in high school,
and you could have.
And I decided not to. I've told the story a million times. I told the story a million times. I said, and I will call her now, and she will tell you. And she said why, and I said because you don't even know how valuable you are yet.
And so I get it.
She didn't have no father in her life.
It wasn't about you. It wasn't about you. It was about Rita deciding to be a good woman regardless.
No, it wasn't up to her.
She could have asked somebody else to take over virginity.
It wasn't up to her. No, because a good woman is a good woman.
Right.
So that's what I'm telling you. I just saying that.
Yeah, but what could have happened is that even though she was a good woman before Anton, she could have chose to be something bad. But because of her interaction with Anton, it validated her that she should continue to be a good person, or a good woman.
You niggas is scoring.
Anton, you giving yourself props when Rita was gonna be a good woman.
She give me props. I will show you the last text message she sent me.
You gonna make him a good woman?
How many you took, 2K?
But why are you doing it?
About 3. But they weren't good women.
But why are you dealing with them?
That's all right. I'm about to pull up. I'm about to bring it.
Why they end up baby mama?
Especially you, Ali. Especially your ass.
Yeah.
That wasn't me, man.
I disagree, bro.
I'm a good brother.
Oh man, I know.
Wait,
I
wait,
know.
wait, wait, son.
Hey, angry man, I really wasn't at that. I really wasn't at that.
Wait a minute.
Trying to smash all them.
Wait a minute.
Listen.
Y'all ain't great. So y'all mean to tell me when you was young, you didn't meet no chicks that was innocent and you broke their heart?
What's young, nigga? What's that? What age group we talking?
When you in your teens, you know what young is, Quentin.
Nigga, what? So you think we gonna
Quentin, why you gotta be Quentin? Why you gotta be a square up here? We know you're not a cornball up here, bro. Stop being that.
ride out, nigga, this long, nigga?
Oh, now see, anger man, you saying innocent, I'm saying unexperienced.
Yeah, that was
she wasn't supposed to know how to fuck at 14.
2K.
Okay?
Innocent,
So hold on,
innocent,
answer,
innocent
anger man. Let me tell you. Okay,
basically the
I
same
met my
thing.
wife. And hold on, I met my wife at 22. Ultimately, the deciding factor that I think that put her above every other girl I have ever fucked with, come from a 2-parent household and know how to treat a man, and she kind of goes.
I don't know, 2K. Based upon how you describe your relationship prior to this video, I'm not taking advice from you, brother. My pops could have been a simp in that house.
But for the most part, she know how to treat a man, bro.
Quentin, you got to go to work in the morning?
Yeah, 5.
All right, I'm about to go ahead. I'm about to be in your spot, Quentin.
Right, so it didn't have nothing to do with did I fumble a good woman? Did I fumble a good woman? All them women they went off and became baby mamas.
But here's the problem though. Here's the problem, 2K, right? This is where you messing up at. Just because a woman later on went on to become a baby mama doesn't necessarily mean that she could not have been a good woman. You see what I'm saying? She could have dealt with you, and you would have been the right type of dude to be with her, and she would have never turned into that.
Which is what Anton was talking about earlier, and what I said earlier. Which is true. Which is very true. You know what I'm saying? A lot of and my thing to black women, that's kind of on you too, is because you had an opportunity to be with a good dude, but because of black culture again, with the solid dude, the solid black man in the black community being a lame on the cornball, you chose not to deal with him, and now you chose to deal with the dysfunctional Negro. Now you become. Let me say that better. Because many of you black women, you came across a lot of solid black men, and you chose because he was a cornball, he was a lame, he wasn't thugging enough, right? You decided not to choose to follow him and choose to follow a dysfunctional person, Negro. And now you've become dysfunctional. So to push back on anger man, the women have to take a part in that, right? Because even though if the dude was a solid dude, right, she still has a choice whether she wants to deal with him or not. That's why I don't like when people say, well, you chose your wife. Well, she got to choose to be your wife. You can't just choose somebody to be your wife. She has to want to choose to be your wife, or for you to be her husband. But I still agree with what Angry Man is saying, because it's to what Anton Daniels was speaking about earlier with Rita, and what I said earlier.
Because another part of the influence is the type of dude she end up dealing with, because there is a part in there about the leadership part. You feel me? There's a lot of women that have turned into raggedy women because they was with niggas that wasn't hitting on shit when it came to leadership.
True.
So that part,
Anger man, you gotta ask yourself, how did we stop talking in the first place? Because she was turning into that.
Because the same way that you sitting there talking about lack of experience, you had lack of experience too.
True.
So you don't know, you may not have known her potential to be a decent woman. You feel what I'm saying? You know how many I've seen in my life that when they was younger, they was cool as hell, they was good women, but then they messed around and started dealing with the wrong type of dude, and they turned into raggedy chicks.
Who fault is that?
You acting like a nigga had a gun to
No.
What happened to autonomy? Now, y'all, why do we don't blame women for us being broke? We don't blame women for us being deadbeats. We
I
don't
agree
blame
with
them for
Ali.
being horrible men. That's on us. That's her responsibility to be a good woman. If she want to be for the streets, that's her responsibility. That got nothing to do with us.
I'm not
Why
saying
No,
would
that's
you?
not,
but
that's
the
not
one
what
thing that
that's not what I'm talking about, Ali. I get what you're saying, but that's not what I'm talking about. Think about it like this, like add the context to it. You do have women out here that if they continue to have a messed up experience with certain types of dudes, it will affect the way they view shit and the way they operate.
You
That
must
does
think
happen.
niggas bouncing from you.
See, and I agree with the angry man. What I said earlier, that in the black culture, even though the pimp or the player is a minority of the men, but their influence have been loud. So because if that's all you're hearing, and that's all the women are hearing, they're gonna follow that. And now when an Anton Daniels comes up there and he speaks and it goes against that influence now, and the women are hearing something different, she's gonna go, oh shit, so these men were here all this time? Yes. And this is why it's very difficult for them to fall in line with a even if it's not even if that brother's not on the Anton Daniels level or Angry Man's level as far as finances. Maybe they're making 80K, maybe they're making 60K or 50K or 50 to 100K, the 100K flat. This is why it's very difficult, and not even just with their money. I'm talking about with their principles, their character, their leadership skills. That's why it's very difficult for a lot of these women to fall up under that type of man's program today, because they've been following bad influences. They've been following the dysfunctional niggas. And I'm talking about since the age of 14, 15, 16, through high school, through college. You know what I'm saying? And this is hard for me, bro. Because I agree with Anger Man. The only pushback is that I agree with Ali when you can't force a chick to be a good person for you. She gonna choose them streets. But I hear what the women are saying, because you could have good women out here and she could be dealing with a dude that's dysfunctional. She doesn't know. She's not aware of it. She's not trying to be for these streets. She's not trying to go into these streets. She's trying to be a good person. But these she just keep finding herself in situation with bad dudes. That's tainting her perception of what a good dude is. The only pushback I had to that is that black men, the good black men, have made it very clear about who they are and what they're about, and black women still don't choose them. You know what I'm saying? So that's my only issue with what Angry Man is saying on that point, even though I still agree with what he's saying. Right?
You must think niggas bouncing from Cinderella to Cinderella. We be fucking
No,
with
I didn't
both
say
them
that.
hoes too.
I didn't say that.
but the
You
one
see
thing
what Rod Wave's going through right now in these streets, nigga?
I could
And,
say
What?
and Angry Man, we just asked Mika if majority of women want to deal with God-fearing men, even if you want to go as far as nice guys, or the dude that want to let her do whatever she want to do. They are leading most of these relationships. Women are leading.
Yeah,
Who
you know
told you
what?
that? I told y'all that earlier. Who
because
told
niggas
you
is
that?
simps.
You know why?
Now they
Because of what you just got through saying. What'd you just say? These men ain't putting no gun to their head. That woman is doing this and doing that because she want to.
they love the woman. They actually love the woman.
Earlier. I said this earlier. I said.
Hey, listen. My opinion on the nice guy, ladies, I know y'all picking them nice niggas on purpose. And to you nice guy dudes, y'all gotta stop being too nice, bro. Now, my opinion on the nice guy and you ladies that keep picking them, I hope y'all get everything you picked, chose to be with. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. How do I talk about the nice guy? It's the nice guy's fault because he's not giving that chick any instructional influence and he's allowing that woman to lead. And it's that woman's fault because she chose to be with that nice guy because she know that nigga's a nice guy and she can run over that dude. You know what I'm saying? So for those of you ladies that are picking nice guy, I hope you get what you deserve. And you nice guys that keep being nice guys, I hope you keep getting disrespected. because maybe both of you will learn that lesson. Um, but on this one, I'm gonna have to go with Ali. He said something.
They were like, "Oh, well, how do we get this? And how do we get women to do this?" I'm like, "You are the man. Y'all do it." And they're like, "Oh, we can't tell women to do." I'm like, oh, and you're not gonna
Mika
get women
already,
to tell women to do it.
Mika already admitted that women don't acquiesce to one standard that men have set. Men had to lower all they standards.
See, Mika, what she said, you're the man. I can't stand that one. That's the shit that the bloomer men used to say. You're the man. Okay, what does that mean? What does a man have to do to get this woman in line? Or what should a man do to avoid a woman that doesn't want to fall in line with him? Well, see, you gotta be a man. You're the man. Okay, I get it. I'm a man, but what am I supposed to do? Not just be a man. So that's what I dislike what Mika said, because that's something that the old bloomers used to say.
Standards to be with today's women. There's not one standard that most don't meet.
Uh,
One standard.
Hold on, Ali. Mika said that you are the man is the answer. That's like me bringing you a fucking toolbox and say, "Hey, Mika, fix this swing set." No instructions. You got the tools. You got the tools. No, tell me what to do. Tell me how to
Do it too, okay?
No.
Okay,
Don't tell me
hold on.
I'm the man. Tell me exactly what you want somebody to do to you when you cut up, Mika.
I don't need somebody to tell me what to do because I've already. Hold on, let me finish. Because I've already been raised to understand what I'm supposed to be doing. And
No, but Mika,
Okay,
you know for a
let me
fact
so
that your sisters and ex ain't been raised that way.
right.
What
That's why I told y'all earlier to stop dealing with those women. Hold on. The men control access to relationships, right?
Yeah.
So when you're
My
in those
only
raggedy
pushback to
relationships, it's
that
because of you.
is that that's not going to change the masses of women. You're just going to avoid the masses of women, which is a good thing. If you're a good dude and you're a premium man, um, you're avoiding the women that do not qualify for you. You're going to have to be on a search to find the quality women out here. But that's still not going to change the masses of women. And maybe you should think of yourself as an individual and focus on yourself. The only problem with that is that as a man that's supposed to be objective in your thinking and your leadership, and what you do today can affect tomorrow and later on down the line. If you're having children and they have to deal with you and your good wife, your premium masculinity and her premium femininity get together and make premium children, but those premium children gotta still date the masses of idiots, of idiocracies. So that's the only thing.
Not women.
So wait a minute. So wait. Let me ask this question of Ali and 2K. I gotta understand this. So what you're telling me is that when a dude deals with a woman, he has absolutely no
Angry man, I noticed that when you go on your mute, you're trying to think about what these niggas is saying to come up with a response, which is good. You notice that when Angry Man be smoking his cigar and shit, and they be talking, he be pausing, because I think his ADHD be messing with him. I'll be like that too. And he'll sit back and he'll think of a response how to counter these niggas. It'd be fun. It'd be funny watching him though. And then he come out with a prolific response and shit. I think that's what ADHD, because you're trying to focus on the topics and there's like different voices going around. And one person can say something good, the next person could be saying something good, and you trying to focus on what the fuck is being said. You trying to process that. But that's what Angry Man be doing. He do a pause, or he smoke, or he lean forward, fold his hands, or he put the cigar and he be thinking about what to say.
You know for a fact that
So let me
that your sisters and ex ain't been raised that way.
Right.
That's
That's why I told y'all earlier to stop dealing with those women. Hold on. Don't men control access to relationships? Right.
Yeah.
So when you're in those raggedy relationships, it's because of you, not women.
So wait a minute. So wait. Let me ask this question of Ali and 2K. I gotta understand this. So what you're telling me is that when a dude deals with a woman, he has absolutely no control over that woman's behavior.
Facts. 100% facts. 2K,
I'm
don't
not
even
saying
think
that we
about
don't have no control. If
You
she
don't have
get
no
out of
control.
control, what can you do?
No, 2K, you have no
At that point, you gotta leave that chick alone. At that point, what your Bible say? It's better to stand on the roof of your house than be in a house with a rebellious chick. So once that chick start rebellion from the beginning of the time you interacted with her, you should let her go. The problem is now when you get into a marriage, which is what I'm trying to see the point of view from 2K and Ali, is that for reasons that cannot be your fault, you can still lose control of that chick. Even in a relationship, you don't have like this absolute control of how she walk and how she talk, because this individual is still going to be moving and talking and operating based upon who she is, right? So even in that situation, because what happens with femininity, they still try to test you, even in a perfect relationship. So you still gotta be kind of on guard and kind of check her back and then sit her down and influence her in the right direction. So I think that's what Angry Man is going to get into the next segment of what he's about to say, because you might not have control over a chick, but you can influence. Or if you don't have any influence, you can influence yourself to leave that chick alone. No, that doesn't still excuse the bad behavior of the women, because again, if I can influence myself and control myself to not deal with problem women, but those problems are still going to be there. You know what I'm saying? And I think my issue with that's the only thing the men have, is to no longer deal with those women, and that's really not going to change the women at all. It just help you avoid with yourself, avoid those type of women. But those problem women are still going to be there, and they're still going to program other women to do nonsense stuff. You know what I'm saying? So
control over her. She does what she wants to do.
What
What
women
can
are
you
y'all dealing with? That is
No.
What?
No,
You
ain't
already
no fuck women.
no.
Answer
Hold
the
on.
question.
Hold
What
on,
can
2K.
we do?
2K, hold on. We got to answer Angry Man. Mika, you can't give an answer and then we contradict the answer. If I ask you if a woman would rather follow a God-fearing righteous man, or if she'd rather get a guy that lets her do whatever she want to do. Women do what they
no. I
want to
didn't
do.
contradict my hold on. I didn't contradict my answer because I
I
told
hate see, um, I hate this. I hate when women act subjective and act like you are unaware of the situation when earlier you made it aware that you're aware that there are a majority of bad women that are drowning your voices out. So you're aware of these type of women, and now you're here saying what type of women you're dealing with. Come on, Mika. Because either you're not aware of the type of women that these men are dealing with, or you're aware of that the majority of these women are drowning out the good women. That's what you said earlier in this review I made.
I told you that you shouldn't be dealing with those women. And
Can
I
I control
told
you? Can I control you? Can I control you?
Let me get
Huh?
Anton Daniels
Can I
channel,
control
Angry
you?
Man channel.
Can
What
I
do you
make
can't
you?
hear?
Come on,
She can't hear
Mika.
no
Can
more.
Mika? Can I make you do what I want you to do? Be with me. I want you to be
it
with me.
it would depend.
Be
It
with
would
me.
depend. It
Be
would
with me.
depend.
Okay,
It
so
would
be with
depend.
me.
When I'm with males, right? I
They gonna be
understand. I understand that I'm under them, right? They're there to protect me. So I already have that.
move the
I already
goalposts.
have that set. What
You move the
happened?
goalposts again. Can I control
No, I
you?
didn't. You keep saying
Can
it
I
because
can
you
Ali
keep saying
control?
it.
Can I control you?
No, because you're trying to make a blanket
Can-
statement. The problem, hold on. The problem with your blanket statement.
But Ali,
The
here's the
problem with
thing
your
though.
blanket.
Here's the
Angry Man,
thing
we
though.
can't control them. Angry Man, you married because your wife follows your lead. She follows you. She's a good
Yeah.
woman.
But you're making up
You can't take away
statement.
from the. You
You're
can't
like, can
dismiss
you
the fact
control me?
that
I don't know you.
She can make all the
So
options.
I
She
don't
can
even
pick
know
another
what you're saying
man.
is
She can
right.
go follow another. She's picking you. She's deciding to you. You know when a woman really follows your leadership is when you say no. That's the greatest thing
I
she
agree
can
with
show
that.
you is when you
Okay,
say no.
but here's the thing though, Ali. This is the part you're leaving out, because I'm pretty sure you have seen. Have you seen in your lifetime women that'll be in a relationship with a dude, and because of the way that dude move and operate, that woman be doing all types of wild stuff, and then she stopped talking to that dude and she get with a different dude, but because that dude don't tolerate that shit, she don't do that shit. You
agree with that because I've done that. I've dated some chicks that have said some crazy stuff to me. You know what I'm saying? And I had to sit them down and say, hey, we don't communicate like that over here. You know what I'm saying? You communicate to me properly. Or if you want, I had a chick come into my house one time that I invited over to her house and she just opened my fridge without asking me no questions. And I had to stop her and say, listen, you don't just touch my stuff or go into my fridge without asking me any questions first. You know what I'm saying? And we got into an argument after that, and I had to kick her out my house. Now, a week later, or later on down the line, she did call me back and apologize for that. And I had an argument with her again, saying why you had to take you that long to know you did something right. Aren't you a grown adult? You know what I'm saying? And after that, and after and at that point, I think with that situation is when I learned that you can't check a chick what it is to check a chick when she's being disrespectful. Now, I'm not the type of dude to scream at you or yell at you or nothing. Not like I'll check a chick like I'm checking you right, like I'm talking right now. And at that point, I learned how to check a chick. At that point, at that time, I didn't know what it was, but now that I'm in these YouTube spaces and I'm listening to Angry Man and how people talk. Oh, and I'm going, oh, that's what I did at that time. You see what I'm saying? So, but I agree with Angry Man at that point. The thing is now, if you still have to check this person multiple times, then you probably shouldn't be dealing with that person. She don't really respect your influence at that point. But again, it all depends. It's at the same time, it depends on that woman's respect level of you or interest level of you. So
never seen that before.
Till she
Yeah,
don't,
I
yes, till she don't tolerate it anymore. Like she's moving how she wants to
So here's
move.
the thing. Here's the thing. This is the part we missing.
Okay.
I think the word control is the wrong word to use. I think influence, right?
Exactly.
So a woman will be influenced by your behavior, by how you operate and how you move. If you
listen.
operate and move incorrectly, you feel what I'm saying, as far as how you supposed to move, that will have an effect on how she operate and move. Like for instance, if you the type of dude where you
Angry
come
Man,
home
I'm gonna
from work
pass that
and she say,
700K.
I thought I
That's what
told
I
you
will.
to take out the trash.
And
And then you run over there and
I'm gonna
take it out.
talk a whole shit
And
when I pass.
whether you know it or not, you're still leading in that situation because you're
I'm
showing
posting up
her that it's
your
cool for her to talk to you like that. But if you're the type of dude that comes home and she says to you, I thought I told you to take out the trash, and you look at her and say, who you talking to like that?
No.
Now you need to take it out. And then you walk smooth off and go on about your business. You feel what I'm saying?
Amen.
Influence.
If she's the type of chick that continues with that behavior, then you leave her the fuck alone and move on. You feel what I'm
That's
saying?
that's
But
what
Amen. I keep
Influence
asking
is
them,
optional.
why
no,
don't
that
Influence
they
is
still is that
optional.
still is not gonna change the
I am
chick.
an influencer.
So
I can influence
I guess
people
for
to go
most
get
men, you're
this,
gonna have to
but
be as
it's to their discretion.
individual person,
Control is what
and
most people, most leaders have. Fuck influence. That's an optional statement. That's something that they don't have to do, but they can do if they want to. I'm looking for control. You have to do this. Two different things,
Yeah,
bro.
but how do you get
Yeah, but
that?
it's
How do you get that?
ramifications that come with control, though.
hey,
No,
but
but
there's a
It's gonna be
Yes,
but how
disobedience.
there's a thin line right there. And the reason why I'm trying to stay away from the word control, because sometimes control includes force and shit like that, right?
yeah. I mean,
But you
give me
can
1 second. I'm about to use the bathroom.
Feel influence without that. Like you said you're an influencer, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing with your influence, right? When it comes to women, women are more susceptible to influence. You're thinking about it from your position. You're thinking about it from your position as a man. You feel what I'm saying? You're not prone to. Are you? Let me ask you this, 2K. Are you prone to following trends? Like just
not really.
You gonna follow it?
No, I don't follow trends.
Okay, guess what? There's women right now that got clothes in their freaking closet that they ain't never wore because at the time the shit was hot, so they went and bought it, but they didn't wear it before the trend left. And once the trend left, they're like, damn, I can't wear this now. It's still in their fucking closet because they are easily influenced by other shit.
They wear it.
The biggest influence they supposed to have in their life is the man that they with.
Yep.
Listen, your man is not an influencer. He's a controller, okay? When he listen, if somebody break in the house, you don't want him to try to influence you to go check the door. You want him to take control of the situation and you go check. You don't want no influencer when shit hitting the motherfucking fan.
Okay. Wait. All right, so let me ask you another question.
It's a bad analogy.
Do y'all want to be an influencer or a controller with regard to how she feels towards you?
I want to be a dictator.
Well, how she feel towards you?
Yeah. Oh no. How she feel towards me is completely on her.
Oh, okay. So what you basically saying is that the situation, that's what dictates whether or not you're an influencer, controller, or whether or not she got complete control over what happens with how she sees things, right?
No, I say how she feel about me. Oh, you doing too much, got a little too much on your chip now.
Why? How is it? What you mean? How she feel about you?
I say how she feel about me is totally on her.
Right, but you don't want to be with anybody that don't want to be with you, though, right?
The respect is what I'm looking for.
No, you want love.
Yes.
Listen, as much as guys, listen, we prioritize respect, but we won't be with her if she don't love us.
I will take respect over love all fucking day.
Listen, but it's not an either or. It's and that's the difference.
No, that's true. No, respect it's an optional thing.
No,
she can be in love with you and still call you.
Yeah, this is why I say black men fail. Because you're making respect an optional thing based upon her, and not based upon what you require. And this is why I'm going to agree with Mika when she said men control the access to. Well, funny how you say that men control the access to relationship. But anyway, you have to make respect and love a requirement, and she doesn't give you that, or she wants to make that shit optional based upon how she feel or what she want to do. Then you have to let her go. You know what I'm saying?
A bitch ass nigga.
No, absolutely not.
It's a requirement. That's the difference, because I would never be in a situation with a woman that would say that she loved me and call me a bitch ass nigga.
That's
it's an and, not an or. I'm not.
See, Anton Daniels wasn't raised like how most of black men are raised in black culture, because in black culture, that's what black men know, experience from their women or from their mothers, their single mothers. It is nothing but disrespect all the time. That's how black men, for as successful as they are, keep picking women that are disrespectful, that say they love you, but at the same time cheat on you. Love you and at the same time do all kind of craziness to you, and you still stay. And that's why black men are failing. So this effect on black men, the only solution to it is if black men were to leave the culture and detoxify themselves from black culture the way it is now. This is why I agree with the passport bros, because the passport bros get to see something outside of their perspective and maybe improve or change their perspective to something different.
Saying that I would rather have your respect over your love. I'm saying that respect is a requirement. Love is something that, because you're going to respect me if you're going to be in my household. That's just the standard, no matter what it is. I don't care if you're the first.
That's a fact.
But the other side
these
of it
women
is
will
that,
sit in your house and disrespect the fuck out you. How you think
no,
niggas
they
get
won't
cheated
sit
on?
in my house and disrespect the fuck out of me.
They only do
How
that.
you think niggas get cheated on?
They only do that because dudes allow that shit, bro.
They
Listen,
don't.
And that's why I do not like nice niggas, nice guys. Because nice guys, y'all allow a lot of bullshit to go on. And then those women that you influence to, even those women should know better. I'm not going to take that away from women. Y'all should know better because y'all know to respect your boss and you know to respect the authorities. You know how to respect not running a red light because you're going to get a ticket. It's just the consequence. But the nice guys, the way you can provide that consequence is to not deal with that chick. Now, again, as I said earlier, I don't think that's going to change them, but at least they'll know if they have that behavior, they're not going to get a relationship or any benefit from a man. And that's what I don't like about nice guys, because y'all gift y'all masculinity over, or you allow women to get benefits from you by being disrespectful to you, or you allow them to get benefits from you without them having to respect you, respect your authority or your influence first. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, bro. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'll give you an example. I don't want you to tell me you love me because I'm making you tell me you love me. I want you to tell me you love me because you genuinely love me.
Yeah.
I want it to be.
I agree.
I want you to want to be here. That's the difference. One of my biggest rules and my only requirement, especially when it comes to divorce, is I will never, ever, and this is one of the reasons why I disagree with how Diddy handled it so much, is that I will never, ever prevent you from leaving. I don't want you to be somewhere that you don't want to be. I will.
2K is a fucking savage nigga.
Never stop you from leaving or whatever, right? So my thing is the love aspect is just as important as the respect, but they go hand in hand. Like, I don't want one without the other. I want them both. And y'all keep saying either or, and I'm telling you that you're having the wrong conversation if that's the requirement for whether or not you're gonna be in a relationship.
Yo, I gotta address what 2K said. They are allowing it, bro. And that's the main reason why you see it happen so often, is because, especially amongst black men, they think they have to accept that type of behavior. You don't got to accept that type of behavior because you don't got to be with the chick.
Yep.
Yeah. You don't got to accept that freaking behavior. In fact, if there was more brothers that didn't accept that behavior, you would see less of it.
Yep. And this is why I don't understand why black men in the black community don't like the passport bros. Because the passport bros are saying, I am not going to tolerate or accept this bad behavior. And see, that's another reason why black men fail. Because black men will critique other black men for not tolerating the disrespectful black women. And telling the black men they must stay here and try to mold these women into being respectful or influence them into being respectful. Well, she has to want to be respectful to you before you can influence her to be respectful. You know what I'm saying? But this is why black men fail a lot, because black men have been trained to, one, allow black women to disrespect them, and by keep being with a disrespectful black women, and then two, every time black men or a segment of black men say, yo, I'm not going to keep dealing with this, I'm going to go over and be a passport bro, or I'm going to be a soft guy era, go do soft guy era, which is basically saying, soft guy era is basically saying, well, if you want to deal with me, this is the expectation. Passport bros are saying, well, we're going to find better women elsewhere because you do not want to treat me correctly. And what you'll see other black men up here talking about, well, I'm a masculine man and I'm a real man and you're not a real man because I want to sit here and date hoes and blah, 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 blah. That's why black men fail to win and fail to get a grip on the black culture and shift the black culture or shift women into a different direction. Right? Because if we're gonna say that black women are the culture, then black men lead the culture or influence the culture. And there's different ways you can influence that culture. Right? And when you have black men on YouTube banging on other black men or other brothers because they say, I want to be a passport bro because I want to find better quality of women, which is an influence to black women because it's telling black women, hey, if you don't step your game up, I'm going to go find a better option over here. The soft guy is saying, hey, listen, black women, I'm cool with dealing with you, but if you want access to me, this is the requirements, drizzle, drizzle. And I think I know why the other black men are doing it, are bagging on those brothers, is because for a minute, for the majority, what's been going on in black culture is that black women were able to be promiscuous and have their box out here and this and that and the third. And as long as as I said earlier, the black community is in a stalemate, right? And the player Mac and Pimp is what's the big influence on black culture or on black women. And a pimp is going to influence, or a player or Mac is going to influence a woman to be promiscuous and casual sex and hookup culture. I think that's why brothers bang on the passport bros or bang on the soft guy era cats, because the passport bros are saying we're going to find better traditional women. You see what I'm saying? And if you're a promiscuous chick and you're not obeying or you're not following the social contract, you're not being traditional at that point. So the reason why in black culture, amongst black men, they'll bang on the passport bros is because if the women actually step their game up to being traditional, no more hookup culture, no more casual sex, none of that. So that's why it's in a stalemate right now. And as long as it's in a stalemate, free boxes everywhere. And when I say it's a stalemate, it's like either the black women can follow a player or pimp or Mac or a traditional guy. Both of those influences are in deadlock with each other, tug of war with each other. And everything in the middle in between is a stalemate where the women don't know where to go or what to follow. You know what I'm saying? That's why the guys in these spaces hate Anton, because he's a traditional influence. So with Angry Man, but you don't really go at Angry Man like that, because Angry Man would chew them up like Winterfresh and spit them out. See what I'm saying? And by the way, I have no issue with a player, Mac, or a pimp. If that's how you want to live your life, live your life. But the fact that you guys who claim to be players, Macs, and pimps, y'all will get up here and you will player hate, violate the rules to your own game, and bang on traditional niggas. And then when the traditional niggas respond to you and call you out, you accuse them of player hating and shaming you. All because those traditional men want black women to be more traditional and respect themselves. All because those traditional guys saying, I don't want a fucking 304. I don't want a chick for these streets. And the same player, Mac or Pimp, would tell you allow women to be free. So allow women to be free to be a traditional woman. But anyway.
And why do you think so many brothers do accept the behavior?
I disagree.
Bitch ass niggas, that's why.
Women, go ahead, Ali. Throw that 51%.
Men are getting married less.
51% in there, Ali.
Men are entering relationships less, and women are behaviors are getting worse.
But here's the thing: they're not
getting better. Men are taking out.
And I agree with Ali, right? Because that's why black women hate the passport bros. That's why black women are still complaining about they're not being able to find any good men, because those men are walking out the game. So, angry men, you can't call them bitch ass niggas if they're not choosing to be in relationships with them type of women. They're walking away from them women, or they're checking out the game, or they're being soft guy era, or they're being passport bro. So they're not engaging with the women, and the women are still complaining and still engaging into lawless behavior. I made a short that's saying the reason why black women cannot find good black men is because black men are holding themselves accountable and responsible by not engaging with black women who are hyenas or black women who are moving who are being rebellious, right? So you only could call out maybe I don't know, maybe what you want to. I would say maybe it's 30% of them niggas that are bitch ass niggas, or maybe 40. So maybe it's a 60-40 thing or a 70-30 thing, where 70% of the brothers are not getting into relationships, and it's only 30% of the niggas that are influencing, whether they be simps or whatever. So I disagree that it's bitch ass niggas. Maybe angry man, you could pinpoint the generation. Because I agree with Ali right there. I went on a couple of dates last month, and certain chicks was moving crazy. One chick showed up to the date dressed up like well, how I approached her, she dressed up pretty fine. She dressed up decent. And I told her where we were going, and I told her how to dress, and she came to the date looking like trash, basically. And I straight up told her, yo, we can't date because of how you dress. And I walked out on the date on her. And I haven't heard her call back since. Another chick said something disrespectful to me, and I had to check on it, and I kept it moving. So I'm holding myself accountable, and a lot of the niggas that I'm friends with, I'm homies with, they hold themselves accountable. So there are a lot of black men out here that are holding themselves accountable and saying, I'm not going to engage with this type of person. So you can't really say you have to qualify. Is it the majority of brothers be like something that DJ Hamp would say? Is it most niggas that are bitch ass niggas, or is it some niggas are bitch ass niggas? So
listen, Ali.
That's facts.
This is this. I guarantee you this. I will be willing to I'll put a band on it. I tell you this. As much as Ali disagree with women, I guarantee you he hasn't went a year without sex.
Look at you thinking about it.
Not the way you
never.
Think, not the way you.
As much as Ali, listen.
No, he not.
Think about that shit for a minute. As much as Ali disagree about the way that women act, as an unmarried man, I guarantee you this motherfucker is not going a year without sex.
How's that different than any man that's on this panel? All y'all met y'all.
What do you mean? That means that your standards is not really a standard because you willing to compromise your standard depending on whether or not you can get your nut off.
Who said not to have sex? Every man on this panel had sex before they got with their wife. Every man was having sex.
No. You missing it, Ali. You missing what I'm saying.
No, address what I just said.
You missing what I'm saying.
No, don't run.
You missing what I'm not.
You missing what he's saying.
You're trying to move the goalposts because we using you as an example right now.
Okay, use me as an example.
As much as you disagree with the sentiment of women, I'm wondering.
So Anton Daniels is trying to say it's basically what Fit did. He talked about Fit. I think who was it? No, not Fit. Fresh and Fit. They do a show talking about the type of women you should avoid, and Fresh still engaged with and has sex with a chick that he talks about avoiding. So I guess that's what he's trying to say about Ali, which is crazy to me. Still,
before you allow for them to lay in the bed.
Do I have requirements for women before I lay in the bed with them?
Do you have the requirements that you're spilling out on these panels, right? Mm-hmm. And you saying, okay, well, listen, this is what I require, or this is what men should want, or whatever, so on, and this is how women should be. Do you make sure that she meet all of those requirements and those standards before she open up her legs?
The requirements of women that are getting in the bed and a woman our wife is completely different.
Exactly.
Exactly. No, that's not
That's
the
the
problem.
problem.
No,
That's the
no,
problem.
that's not.
Exactly.
No,
Yeah,
no.
it is because
It's because you
No.
niggas don't have no
you're still feeding those
requirements
same women.
until after you fuck her, and then now you want to start throwing requirements on them. And
That's
so
not.
Ali's thought process is something that I've heard in the black community from both Gen X and the Bloomers, where if the chick presents herself as a jump off, he's not going to mess with that person and get into a relationship with that person. They're just going to smash. But if the chick presents herself as a wife, now then that's the person he's going to deal with. But I think what Anton is saying is that you're supposed to have requirements on these women regardless, and if they don't meet your requirements, you don't mess with them. Now, the requirements you would have for a strike that you're just smashing is we wear condoms. You know what I'm saying? You get tested, I get tested, and you still move how I tell you to move. Which that is a basic requirement that you should have for a chick, even if you're looking at her as a wife. But I think with Anton Daniels, you should have requirements regardless.
y'all don't really
So
have.
it's like Ali is saying the chick that's a jump off who just lay in my bed, I'm gonna hit raw. But the chick that's a wife, I'm gonna wear a condom. It's kind of like that almost.
Have no requirements because
Anton, you
y'all
being
listen. No,
disingenuous,
I'm not because
man.
y'all not
Come
looking for a
on.
No,
wife.
that's
Y'all
the
looking for a hoe.
that's the
No,
facts.
y'all looking
That's the
for a
facts.
That's not a
homie.
fact. That's not a fact,
You,
bro.
yes, it
You
is.
married?
I agree with that. I think a lot of niggas in these spaces, because I see it out here in real life too. Um, there's some of my homies that love fucking with hoes. You know what I'm saying? They're not looking for the, which I have no issue with that. I have no issue with the guys out here that or some of my homies that say they ain't trying to get married or have a relationship. They're just trying to be out here and smash. You see what I'm saying? But even with that, you still should have some standards about the type of chicks you allow to get deep from you. But I would say that's most of the younger generation. And the millennials, the Gen Z, millennials and the Gen Z that's in their 20s. You know what I'm saying? Most guys out here, they're not trying to get into no intentional relationship. A lot of guys in the Gen Z and the millennial area, they're doing situationships. Shit. And I think for Angry Man and Anton Daniels, I think they speak on behalf of trying to get into traditionalism and be married. And Ali has claimed to get up here and say he's looking for a traditional style type of relationship, as far as I've heard him speak. And if that's the case, that's the only type of woman you should be dealing with or laying with. You shouldn't be dealing with or laying up with hoes. Because even though that's what the Gen X or the Boomer men have done, I think that's what's contributed to where we're at right now. You know what I'm saying? One chick you treat as traditional, but one chick is for hoe. It's for 3 or 4 activity. I think that's what created the problem. And I'm not taking anything away from the women because at the end of the day, the women control the access to the box. You see what I'm saying? But let's continue. I'm about to cut this off in a minute though.
Yeah,
This
because
what this
it's
this what this
listen,
what I
like
was
you
saying
said,
earlier.
it's
Are you married?
hypocritical, bro. It's
Is he married?
Me?
It's
Yeah.
hypocritical.
Your
No.
question. Ali,
Have you
Ali,
had
not
sex
married.
with
It's
last
still
year?
hypocritical.
Have you had sex
I
with last
Listen,
year?
listen. Because what
Yeah.
you base, let me
But
tell
What
you
you
why it's
talking about?
hypocritical.
But wait,
Ali. No, listen.
wait.
Let's
Because you're
roll.
missing the
Let's
point.
roll. Let me
Because
tell
what
you
the
why it's
Oh, go
hypocritical.
ahead.
Hey, click the like, click the share, subscribe, check me out, check out my channel, support the channel, support Anton Daniels, support Angry Man, support 2K, support Ali. I don't know who Mika really is. I don't know who the brother in the red hoodie is. I don't know her. I don't know who this nigga is.
Critical, Ali.
I go back to Anton.
Oh, the fact that Ali, you're a light skinned nigga and you support Kendrick, I'm disappointed with you. All light skinned niggas should side with Drake off GP off top. Even if he did loss, you should side with the light skinned nigga Drake. There should be no light skinned nigga picking Kendrick Lamar. As a brown skinned nigga myself, light skinned niggas should not be picking Kendrick Lamar. You should be picking Drake. Be biased, be light skinned and biased.
Anton,
No, wait, Ali. Don't stop.
Go
Let me
ahead.
tell you why it's hypocritical. because you're sleeping with the enemy.
Facts. That's what
You willing to lay down
that's what
next to the
Fresh
enemy.
did. That's what a lot of you niggas do. A lot of you niggas sleep with the enemy. And then when the enemy burn you or do something bad with you, you complain about the enemy. Now, I get it. If you were dating and you had no intentions to sleep with that enemy, and you told that woman what your intention was, what you were looking for, and she lied to you, I understand. I understand from the men's point of view, the men out here who trying to be traditional and trying to date intentional, and all you see is holes and three or fours. You men have a right to complain. But now, if you're a player on your Mac and you're out here smashing and passing, you can't really complain about a chick body count of three or four because you're basically engaging in the same type of activity. Now, you can complain about the woman being disrespectful to you, right? You can complain about the quality of women, right? But if you're a guy out here now and you're not a player, you're not a Mac, you're dating with the intentions of finding a wife, you can't be doing three or four activity or engaging in three or four activity. As Angry Man is going to point out, men cannot be three or fours. But I had a thought. Fuck the ADHD. Damn it. I had the thought. Can you play this? I might think of it as this is playing.
Enemy next to the very thing that you despise or you disagree with. How is that not hypocritical, Ali?
Anson, how you gonna switch it from these are good women to now they the enemy?
This is your standards. These are your standards.
Oh, I know what I was thinking now. You got a lot of guys on the internet, on YouTube, and in real life that are actually wifing up hoes. Because you got other guys in these spaces that are giving the game how to wife up and mold hoes into housewives, which I believe it can be done. But the only people that can do that are the players and the Macs and the pimps. And that's not a regular person's lifestyle. Nothing wrong with being a regular person, but that's being a player, Mac, or pimp. That's not a regular lifestyle. Or if you're into sex culture, or if you're into hookup culture, if you're into open relationships and non-monogamous, that's not the majority or the in general lifestyle of most people. So the only people that got game to do that, it would be a player or a Mac or a pimp. Those are the only people that can mold a hoe or any woman into a hoe or into a wife. So you got a lot of guys on YouTube that is given that game, right? Which is pretty much the same thing as a traditional guy molding a woman into being traditional. It's just it's a different set of it's like the Marines versus the Army. Right? The way that the Army is going to raise their grunts into being Army men is going to be different from how a Marine raises their grunts into being Marines. You know what I'm saying? It's like the Marines are the players and the Macs and the pimps, and the Army is the traditional guys. So there is game for doing that, and that's the game that's being told on the internet, and the guys are learning that game, and I guess they're being effective at it. But what if you have the guys who want to go Army and be traditional? No, you have to teach them the type of game to do that. And what if the guys who are going Army saying, I don't want to mold a hoe, I want me a chick that's already traditional. She don't have to be perfect, but she just not out there like that. What about those guys? See what I'm saying? That only traditional guys could teach traditional guys how to mold women into being traditional. Only pimps and players can teach guys how to mold women into be hoes and 304s. So that's my take on it. Because again, there's a lot of guys. Like I said, that's what's on. That is what has been the overall arc and influence in black culture in the black community, where the pimps and the mac and the players are what's influencing, or versions of masculinity that has been influencing the culture. Now the thing with traditional guys and the players and the max, they both have similar styles of how you lead, because they both have in general things on how you're supposed to operate with women, like don't tolerate disrespect, influence the chick, be an authoritative person with the chick, be the structure, have standards. If the chick doesn't want to follow you, let her go. Um, this is how you spot red flags. These are the type of women you reject. So they have both the player Mac or the pimp or the traditional guy. They have things that are objective in general on how you're supposed to operate as a man when it comes to a woman in a relationship in other areas of life. Because game is not just about women. Game is about yourself first and about everything else. Right? So but you've only had, say it's the Sith versus the dark side, or the Sith versus the Jedi. You only had the Sith influence in the board, and it's become unbalanced, right? And here come Anton Daniels or Angry Man, the Jedi, coming into the influence, fighting the Sith to balance it back. That's what I call it.
There's Ali.
Hold on. She can lay down with me if she can lay down with me. No. But we talking about a woman you have sex with versus a woman you would marry.
Hey, let me ask
What
you a
you trying
question.
to make a
I don't
difference?
get the correlation.
No. That's
Hold on,
no.
y'all.
If you
And man, I send it right back to you. We are men. When men get sex, regardless if it's a thought or a good woman, it's still showing our value, regardless of what we want to say. That what we get to determine who's going to be our wife based on her behavior. But no man on this panel is going to stop having sex with women until they find a good woman. That's how bad, especially how bad the market is.
But wait,
Y'all had sex.
wait,
Mika, let me finish, Mika.
why do you sleep with? Why do you
Because
sleep?
because
Go ahead.
Anton, Angry Man, my brother in the red shirt, and 2K all find their wife having sex. If you're not having sex, you are not what women are looking for. Most men, most of these brothers,
Ali, my wife was
Anton
a
was community D.
Ali.
Anton was community D before he got married. Angry Man was
Ali.
community D before he got
Ali.
married. 2K was community D before he got married. And
Speak for yourself, Negro. I was never community D. Did I get box? Yes. I'm 32. In my 20s, I got box. I want to say the first time I had box was when I was 16. So from 16 to 32, I've had sex, but I was not community D. The only time when I wasn't smashing was during COVID, right? And even now, I'm not smashing as much. I'm kind of slowing down to kind of focus on my life and shit. You know what I'm saying? And even in my 20s, I still wasn't moving like that, because in my 20s, before this on your purpose shit, in my 20s, I was still trying to figure out my life and where I wanted to go with my masculinity, and trying to figure that kind of stuff out. So even then, I wasn't just smashing everything that was moving. I was still kind of moving. Um, I was still kind of moving with caution, kind of moving with some kind of finesse, right? Because I'm a Caribbean nigga, so I had older brothers. I have older brothers. I have a father. I had men around in my life that kind of gave me the game. Even because I have an older brother, right? He's Gen X. He's 51. He's a street nigga. So, um, we from East New York. Even though he's born in Jamaica, but when my mother moved to America with him and my older sister, we lived in East New York around Glenmore and Liberty. So, he would give me the game. You know what I'm saying? But I'm the type of dude that I'm gonna take your game, but I'm not gonna move. I'm gonna use what you teach me how I want to use it. So, in other words, if you give me game on how to attract a woman, how to find women, how to approach women, how to have sex, how to get a woman to have sex with you, how to date women, how to lead a chick, I'm not gonna use that game you taught me and engage with three or fours. I'm gonna use that game that you taught me to engage with quality women. Right. So I could take something from a dating coach, a general objective thing that dating coach is teaching, or Angerman is teaching, or Anton Daniels teaching, but I'm going to use it how I want to use it. See what I'm saying? Another band might use it to smash 304s. I might be using it to find quality women or to date quality women. See what I'm saying? So I have never, so me myself, I've never been community D. See what I'm saying? Because me coming from East New York or coming from that environment, I did not like. And my pops lived by pink housing projects. I did not like 304s. I did not like the Project Hood Rat. Not saying that all women from the projects are bad. I never said all. But I did not like dealing with that type of chick. That type of woman was annoying to me. You know what I'm saying? So I did my best to try to avoid that type of lifestyle, avoid those type of women in my 20s. You know what I'm saying? But then come to find out from my own experience, try to date black women that were maybe working in corporate America. They were the insurance lady. They were there at church. A lot of them are hoes too, because hoes do your taxes, hoes write your resume, and hoes go to church and say amen and praise the Lord and all that good stuff. That's what I come to find out. You know what I'm saying? I try to date black women from certain parts of Manhattan, like that work in corporate America. Come to find out they into what you call sex culture and swinger lifestyle and all that other garbage. You know what I'm saying? That I'm really personally not into. So
And my brother right here is definitely community D, but till he gets married.
What?
So let's be real.
No, I'm not.
Wait.
Yes, you are.
Ali,
Agree
first of
with
all,
that.
I
I disagree
Ali,
with that.
I got married at 22
Hey,
years
man,
old.
don't go there.
I got married at 22 years old.
Go
And
there.
one of the biggest
What were you doing
criticisms,
before you were married?
and one of the biggest criticisms that I get, even
Okay.
today in this chat, from
Okay.
motherfuckers that think that they shaming me because I've been with one woman for 20 years.
No, what were you
They
doing?
yeah, and see again, the reason why they dislike Anton is because Anton represents the thing in the black culture and black community that we were supposed to be going into during Jim Crow when we were of the nuclear family. And that disrupts, like I said, the Jedi versus the Sith. It disrupts the player influence, it disrupts the sex culture and the hookup culture that the black community or black culture has been engaging since this new age shit been kicking off. You know what I'm saying? And because Anton Daniels has a black woman now that is not disrespecting him, not being like Rita, you don't hear anything bad from Rita. Rita respects Anton. She follows his leadership. She respects his household. You know what I'm saying? And she's not a 3 or 4 as Anton is describing. So rather than and this is why I'm gonna go into something here. This is why the fuck black men fail, and this is why when I made a video or live a couple days ago saying how the matriarchy has fucked up black man's leadership or his masculinity or his identity, it's because in black culture, if a black man, especially in America, is able to get money and success now, right? Um, other black men is not going to respect that man or validate that man's masculinity based upon his ability to get a car, his ability to make money, his ability to rap and write music and then generate money. They're not going to validate based upon that because those are things that him and his masculinity can go out there and control and do and generate. What we'll do in the black culture or amongst black men is that if he has an issue or he's not successful with women, or not even that he's unsuccessful with women in general, if he had a bad experience with just one woman or two women or three women or maybe 10 women, all of a sudden It's a reflection of his bad character. It's a reflection of what's his capability to do. You could be Jonathan Majors, who's the apex of masculinity, but because he got into a relationship with motherfucking he failed one relationship with what's her name? Lori Harvey, all of a sudden his masculinity doesn't mean anything. It's not valuable anymore. But he's a top movie star. He has the looks. He's very successful in every other area as a grown ass man, but because his interaction with one bitch is going to determine if his masculinity is solid or not, or if he got the ultimate game or not. This is what I hate about black men and the black culture and the black masculinity. It validates the men based upon a bitch and not based upon himself and what he's capable of doing outside of a bitch. But say at the same time, the game is not about the women. If the game ain't about the women, then why do we validate a black man based upon if a woman respects his black ass or not? Maybe she don't respect the nigga because she's a disrespectful bitch. Anyway.
Hey, hold on, wait. I'm gonna answer your question. They shame me.
And then when a nigga don't want to deal with disrespectful bitches, we'll shame the nigga into dealing with a disrespectful bitch. Instead of checking the bitch, it's like there being a bear trap in the middle of the forest, right? The nigga goes walk over there. You don't know that the bear trap is there. He walks to get his foot caught in the bear trap, right? But he didn't know the bear trap was there. He didn't know it was there. It's hard to find. It's hard to see a bear trap because it's on the camouflage. Two other niggas go walk into the bear trap, and you blame all them niggas that walked into the bear trap instead of say, you know what? Let's just remove the bear trap so that niggas can stop walking in the bear trap. Before we keep going engaging into this forest, let's get a metal detector. Let's search out this bear trap and remove all the bear traps so niggas can stop falling into the trap. Instead, what we'll do is we'll leave the trap there and niggas still go walk into the bear trap instead of removing the trap and blame the niggas for walking into the bear trap. Just remove the trap. Whenever there's tainted water in an environment and people are getting sick from that water, right? You don't tell the people to keep drinking the damn water. You go clean up the water so that people can drink cleaner water. And do I agree that yes, you should watch where you're going so you don't walk into a bear trap? Yes. But at the same time, remove the fucking bear trap. Should you be careful of the water you drink? Yes. But at the same time, clean up the water so niggas can stop drinking dirty water. So now you don't have to do extra shit like put bleach to clean up the water. Clean up the water. Don't dirty the water in the first place. You know how Morpheus told Neo that I could only leave the water, you have to drink it? What if you keep leading me to dirty water? And every time you lead me to this dirty water, I keep getting sick. Then I say, stop. I don't want to drink this water because it keep making me sick. And then you tell me I'm a bitch ass nigga because I don't want to drink dirty water. Well, if you clean that motherfucker, maybe I wouldn't get sick.
Woman for 20 years. They do. You know it's true, Ali.
Of course. There's some men that shame you. Most men ain't gonna shame you because you got a wife.
Ali, that statement you made was disingenuous, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay,
you said community D.
All right,
you know, community D means that I pass it around to any goddamn body, and I did not do that, sir. No, it was not community D, bro.
The women that you found valuable got the D.
Yeah,
so that's
and before, hold on real quick, because I want Anton to look in the camera when he tells the truth to the people. Hey, Anton, before you got married with your wife, what were you doing?
I was studying.
You were studying.
You a capping Negro. Anton, stop lying. What you was studying? Studying separating them legs? That's what you was studying. You was studying them cheeks. That's what you was studying, Negro.
What, the great walls of
You were studying the clitoris. That's
I
what you
was
was
studying.
Better than woman body.
Hey,
I was
and
studying.
no woman wants an inexperienced man. Women want their man
That
sexually
don't have
experienced.
no
So
Ali.
Anton
The
can say
reason
what he want to say. My brother over there, 2K don't one right now, solidly telling the truth. But men get sexual experience from these women so they can perform
Ali,
on
let me.
women that they
I'm
actually
gonna
marry
answer
as
your
well too.
question directly.
maybe that is the issue, that we keep smashing women till we find a good woman. Maybe the old way of thinking, because I'm about evolution and doing something different. Maybe that is the issue. Maybe we shouldn't be smashing until we found a wife. Maybe we should actually vet, then find a wife, and then smash. But I don't think that's gonna stop the women from being hoes, and I don't think it's gonna stop the women from influencing other women to be hoes. In my opinion, that's me saying that. I don't know if that's a fact or not. I don't know, but based upon what I'm seeing, even if 70 to 80% of the men move that way, I still think that what I'm saying is if 70 to 80% of the men moved on some, you know what, we're not gonna smash any women until they're wives. We're only gonna have sex with the women that prove their wives to us. I think if 80 or 70 to 80% of the men do that, I still think that 100, at least 90% of the women are still gonna be 304s, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? So
answer your question directly. Before I
Go
got
ahead.
married, or
What was your body count before you got married?
hold on, Ali, you got to let me answer the question. Before I got married, I was vetting another woman to be, and that's the honest. That was the honest to God truth. I talked about it. Actually, I think I talked about it either today or yesterday on the Millionaire Morning Show, and that I was talking to my father, and he was saying, "Listen, if you marry that girl, if you ask that girl to be your wife, she gonna ruin your fucking life."
and see, I think with Anton, because he had a father in his life, made him make better choices when he was picking women, because he had the father to guide him. Now I have my pops in my life, and my pops was a ladies' man, but he got into a relationship with my mother, and I'm glad that I'm here. But he chose the wrong chick. I'm just saying. I love my mom. I love my pops, but what I could say is though, my pops, he didn't get married again until, because my pops and my mother, they divorced each other when I was 5. He didn't get married until I was around 28, 30, 28, 29, 30. So that's a couple years ago. No, actually it was before COVID actually started to kick off. To truth be told, so that probably wasn't like maybe um 2019 to 2020. So that's a couple years ago. And how my pops operate, right? Because he ain't no trick or no sucker neither. He'll talk to a chick, and once you showcase that you trying to get his money, because my pops, he's stingy with his money. It's not really stingy. He try to save his money a lot. So once he read that off you, he gonna stop talking to you. And there's a way how he do it, cause he a Caribbean nigga, right? A Jamaican nigga. So like he'll approach a chick, and he'll be spitting the game. And when she start talking about you gotta buy me this and that, he'll say, no, 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 mom, man, not do that, man, not do that. I'll walk away from her, you know. That's how my pops operate. So I learned that from my pops. So, but he can be my pops can be a simp sometimes. Because why I say that is because my pops would be like, I want me some grandkids. And I tell my pops, well, a chick got to be worthy of that before could go give her that. And my pops would tell me, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. But I said, Pops, you went through that with my moms. Why would you tell me to go through something like that? So, but I fucks with my pops though.
I was in a position. I was always in a position, and I was always focused on if I was gonna deal with a woman, past high school, then I'm vetting a woman, my wife. I was never on the type of time where I was trying to be out here and just doing shit. I was actually vetting a woman, and I told y'all about her, and she went to Spelman, and I wound up introducing her to Reader, and then they wound up getting into a beef, and that was a whole nother conversation. But my point is that I considered that woman to be my wife. That's a fact.
See, Anton, I don't like how you over there telling Rita to be a good motherfucking woman, and here you is, and you telling Rita to wait on you, and you tell her man this other little.
I didn't tell her to wait on me. I told her to hold off on giving up her virginity to me because she didn't know how valuable she was yet.
Wait on me.
No, I didn't say wait on
Anton
me.
should make a movie, Wait on Me, Rita. Anton should make a whole series, Wait on Me.
Y'all, you keep trying to conflate the words to mean something different. That's not true. And it's still,
he said don't give him the.
And after all of that, Ali still sleep with the eyes.
I gotta ask Ali a question to go back to this.
He still is willing to lay down with the eyes.
You know what's funny? I was a dude just like you before I got to college. I was a dude just like you. Actually, my senior year in high school, I got turned out. But before then, I was trying to do this.
Hey, listen. Angry man. Ali just gave a L to light-skinned niggas just like. You can't have light-skinned niggas out here saying things like this in this kind of climate that we in. Ali, he just gave y'all a little L, a slight little L right there. Ali, you can't be. Why do y'all men speak like this? This is not even specific to light-skinned niggas. This is to black men in general. Why do y'all speak like that? Why do y'all allow women to say, I'm going to turn you out, I'm going to smash you, or I'm going to fuck you? Why y'all allow them to say that? I'm tired of hearing women say that shit. Yo, I'm going to turn this nigga out. I'm going to toss your salad. Pause. Oh, that sound real Diddy-ish. Y'all got to stop allowing these women to speak to y'all like that. And then y'all turn around and mimic what the women saying. This is why I said that the matriarchy has fucked up black men and their masculinity. Because y'all was raised by y'all mamas that speak like this. Or your sister that speak like this. Or you was raised around your sister by your mama who's all of them speak like this. I'm going to turn you out. You know what I'm saying? You with your woman and she talking about how she gonna smash you or you gonna get smashed by her. What kind of talking is that? Like, and I picked that up from a long time ago. I picked that up when I was in high school. And I thought that was the shit that hood bitches say. But you got black women up here that work in corporate America that say that same shit. You in a relationship with your man and she talking about she gonna smash you or turn you out. Or you got turned out.
I was trying to wife, and I found out they wasn't. I thought every woman was like my mama, and I found out they wasn't. And then when I got my senior in high school, it was a wrap. I figured
there it is.
You got
that's the checkmate right there.
That's
the checkmate.
Ooh,
that's the checkmate.
I'm being funny.
But Ali, you know what the problem is though? You never turned it off.
Ooh,
wait, there's one chick
Anton,
that turned all of us into monsters. Now
Ali,
y'all
you cannot complain. You cannot complain 100% of the time about the ops when you sleep with them.
That's not true.
Yeah, you can.
You cannot.
That is not biological. So Anton, hold on. So
come on,
no, you cannot.
We got all that shit.
Okay, hold on. So Anton, if you didn't get married with your wife and you couldn't find a woman,
I can't do any hypotheticals. That's what I did.
Nah, you gonna do that, Anton? No, Anton.
What do you mean? The results speak
Anton,
for itself. This is what my life is
Anton,
like.
if you didn't get married and you couldn't find a good woman for 20 years, would you have not been having sex, or you be having sex?
No, I would not have sex.
Yeah,
now you see that smirk. Look at the wink. You saw the wink, and look at him.
No, I'm not winking. I'm telling you the truth.
Listen, cuz we've been beefing with China forever. All our products still say made in China, nigga. If we can go to them for trade, We damn sure can talk to a female for some.
I am a man that was meant to be married. I'm telling you the truth. Listen, and the reason that I say
That's funny to Ali.
the reason that I say that,
Why so funny?
the reason that I
Wait,
say
Ali,
that,
are you saying that all men are hoes?
the reason that I say
Oh, yeah.
that is because
All
that is
men are
the
hoes.
path, and that
All
was
men
the
are hoes.
no, listen.
Hey. See what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Y'all let Mika rock that off and you agree to that bullshit. This is what I'm saying.
Listen, that is the path, and that was the expectation from my family.
Look,
my father did it. All of my brothers was expected to do it. All of my uncles did it. That is the standard of the men in my family, is that you get married before you have a child. You operate, you know what I'm saying, based off of that standard. And I was raised in a church. That's what people are forgetting. Even though I was raised in the hood in Detroit, I was also raised in a church. And you did not bring home out of wedlock. You did not do any of that shit. And if you was gonna be out here, then you was gonna be married. That was the expectation.
I was raised in the church too.
I got married. Brothers, two of my brothers got married earlier than me.
To Anton, there's a lot of niggas out here that got raised in the church, and they was out there. The pastor be out there moving like that. So, but again, that's Anton's anecdotal experience, and if every church moved like Anton, I don't think the black culture would have this issue we have. And a lot of the blame has to go towards the black church, because the black church, with the exception of Anton, has raised up a lot of men to be 304 mongers, and they have raised the women up to be 304s. You know what I'm saying? You have the pastor up there preaching one thing, but he messing with your wife or somebody's wife. So a lot of the black church in general, in the black culture, they have to take the blame for how the environment has been. That's why niggas have to still drinking from a dirty water, because the pastors contributed to that dirty water. You know what I'm saying? And then they want to tell the men to keep drinking the dirty water.
In their life, as far as what age they was married. All of my uncles got married, and none of us have ever been divorced. That was the expectation.
I was raised in the church too. Why was the same women going to the congregation every fucking Sunday? Because they was homes every Saturday.
Talking about praise the Lord. Yes, Jesus. Save me from my hoish ways. By Monday come, they back to being home. And the pastor engaging in the holism. In the whoremongery.
Don't mean nothing, Anton.
You went to a different type of church than me.
I didn't.
Every man ain't got a hole in them.
First of all, let's get this. Let's clear this up, because you wildin'. And that's why when Anton said 49% of the time you right, it was so fucking accurate. Because
y'all like 39.9% of the time.
First of all, you should know better. A man can't be a hoe.
I know, Angry Man. You know I'm being funny, man. I'm just being funny.
I hope you are, bro. Like,
no,
come on,
we can't.
Light-skinned niggas, y'all can't afford to be funny nowadays. You cannot afford to be funny in no stretch of the matter. Light-skinned niggas, y'all gotta be serious.
We can't be turned out. We can't be no, I'm being funny. It just be being comical. It's our biological imperative to have sex. So either a woman pleasures us, or she becomes our wife, and we're supposed to have multiple wives.
That's why your earlier argument was contradictory, because you cannot describe men being in that lane of, and we've had this argument before where I told y'all that y'all were poisoning the well that you're gonna go back to later.
Yeah,
we had this argument before, and I told you, like, if you're out here that type of time, you cannot tell me that you have not ruined good situations. Because some of the situations you probably didn't even know it was gonna be a good situation.
No. Hey, Angry Man, if y'all knew me in real life, I was that what Anton talking about. That's the kind of dude I was. I was trying to wife women. I wasn't trying to be out there like that.
Well, listen, all of this is irrelevant.
I was raised in a cultural household. My mom is from one side of the world, my father on this side, and my dad was in the church, my mother was in a mosque. I was looking for wifey material women. Women were not wifey material. It's simple as that. These women still wanted the
yeah, but
validation and
Ali,
attention of other men,
Ali,
and they don't cooperate with their men.
But Ali, the
Huh?
problem isn't that you don't
Oh
feel
yeah.
like you found women that was wifey material. I believe that's hard to believe, but
True.
we gonna take that but we gonna take that at face value, okay? Because I think that
Okay,
you've
good.
probably ran into some women that you just didn't even
And
want. That probably was wifey material, but that's
hey,
irrelevant. That's
don't make me
irrelevant.
make a
The
video
point of the
about
matter is
angry
this.
man and you telling the truth about how these women is savage out here. And you said
What do you
you
mean?
and
I tell the truth
Anton, I
about
was with you. You said take
I
these
tell the
women
truth
and
about
throw
how
them out
women
with
are
the bathwater.
savage.
And angry man called them hyenas.
But here's the thing, Ali. Nobody is saying that's where your 40.
But angry man is not talking about the majority of the women. He's talking about the women who actually operate that way. You know what I'm saying? And those women got to be pointed out and exposed and talked about because they're contributing to the poison well too. So it's not just the men doing it. And the hyenas, for some odd reason, have a big influence on the women and you dudes apparently.
10% kick in. You're right. And we do hold them accountable, but there's another side of the coin. Is that you be sleeping with the ops.
But here's the problem, though. Here's the problem, Ali.
You
The
sleep with the
problem
ops,
is
Ali.
They're not my enemy. Women ain't my enemy.
no, bro. I do be calling them hyenas, but I'm only talking about the hyenas.
Right.
All of the women ain't hyenas.
We agree. We say all women ain't hyenas. Are most of them hyenas?
Most of them? I wouldn't say most of them.
Come on, angry man. Angry man, you
Hey,
the angry
hey,
man.
Ali,
Angry man, we
Angry
had
man
this,
think
we had
Angry
this
man
conversation
think that he
earlier.
can find a wife at the freak
Man.
league.
Most
Angry man,
Angry man, we
I ain't
try
gonna
to be
lie, angry
behind you. We
man.
don't want
In
to
New
chat
York
about what
City,
we
you
have to
walk
do.
down Jamaica Avenue. 8 out of the 10 women are gonna be hyenas though. Every block you walk down Jamaica Avenue, you touch Flatbush, even out here in Cambridge Heights, Bob Merrick, about me. 8 out of the 10 women you interact with gonna be some hyenas. You go on a bus. I almost said the bus I drive, I ride on. You ain't gonna catch me like that because you pull up on me, I'm gonna knock you y'all niggas the fuck out. I almost said it. But the bus I ride on, or I move on, you go on that bus, 8 out of the 10 women on that bus is some hyenas though.
Fam, there's no way. I've already given my number. You feel what I'm saying? I've already given my number. My number was, this is what I said. I said I would say 20% of women are definitely wife material. I said, but of the other 80%, don't know which ones are raggediest or they just following the other raggedy ones. That's what I
raggedy. And angry man, you 100% right because they follow each other and support what each other are doing. So they raggedy.
Mika did say that earlier. She did say that you have promiscuous women out, good women that don't call out the promiscuous women out here. So that speaks to what Angry Man was saying with that 80% number, that you don't know who's raggedy and you don't know who's not raggedy. So Mika, we don't know if you're a good girl or not, bro. You could be lying.
Percent
We
of them are
don't know.
raggedy. 20% are good women. They don't support the 80%.
But I only
You
need
could
but
be
I
a
only need
sprag
one.
in disguise. You could
Exactly.
be a distracticon.
exactly. But
Yeah,
see,
nigga.
there's a difference.
I don't
There's
need 80% of them. I only need one. I don't understand.
Nigga, y'all actually see this the part of the man problem y'all forgetting about. The 20% is scattered among the 80. And you gotta go through these hoes like
No,
clothes at the
that's
fucking flea
true.
market.
That's not true.
Right. He right.
Not true. That's not
Hey,
true.
hey, Anton, if women actually close their legs, right, and they say, you know what, we want to be married, and made men have to have sex, you think most men would be married?
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hell,
man.
who?
No,
Man.
no, ain't no man marrying no women.
Oh man, you keep man.
Sex. Women,
Listen,
men
I
are
can
men.
tell. I could.
Men
I
are
could tell
marrying
you, I
women
can
without
give you
sex.
an example right now.
No. I said if they kept
Most of the men
they'd
that
have to marry them to have sex. With most
most of the
men.
men.
Oh, see, that is a saying that has been said in the black culture and black community since I've been born. I'm 32 years old, so I've heard the Nation of Islam say that. I've heard the conscious community say that. I've heard pro-black say that. And um, has that been working? Because all the women seem to find are either nice guys, suckers, or simps that they can control with the box. They don't actually find straight up strong masculine dudes that got good leadership qualities or good leadership skills or qualities. When the women do that or move like that, they typically find a sucker or simp or nice guy. Not saying, and I think that the men with the leadership skills, they might find that in the minority. But for the most part, the women who move like that, because that's something boomers in the Nation of Islam say and the pro-black community say. They say that if the women control the box, or if they close their leg, want a marriage, they would get the men would want marriage. And see what happens is that the 80% that Angry Man is talking about that may or may not be raggedy, of the 80%, the raggedy chicks, I'm gonna say 60% out of that 80%. That's right. That's right. The raggedy chicks use that same game too. They present themselves to be a good woman, and they use that if they close their legs and want marriage to get dudes to marry them. And I think what happened was that when during the 1950s, when it was before during the 1950s, before feminism and New Age became about, I think what happened was that's how most of society will operate. That you had men that if she kept her legs closed and she was being prudish, right? Or she just say she wasn't being prudish, she presented herself as a wife. That's what the men would typically wife up. But the chicks who presented themselves as a 3 or 4, those are the chicks they would just smash and but not wife up. I think that the hoes peep game peep game from that. And then presented themselves because back then you didn't have social media. You didn't have Facebook, you didn't have Twitter, you didn't have any of that. So it's very easy for a hoe to be in New Jersey, be a hoe in New Jersey, move to New York and to Cambridge Heights, Queens, and present herself as a good chick, and he wouldn't know. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what happened. I really think that's what happened. Is that you had the hoes present themselves as good women and taking that game of we not smashing, we a good girl, and then getting themselves into relationships with men that they weren't interested in. And because those guys typically were simps or happy wife, happy life motherfuckers or Negroes or white dudes or whatever, but we talk about black culture, they simped or didn't have those masculine qualities to lead this chick or check this chick when she was being disrespectful. So those women that were of those strags, the ancient strags of old, that's how they got into marriages or relationships. They used that game to get them a sucker or a trick. And I think where the boomers messed up is they didn't teach those men how to be leading. They didn't teach those men how to be. They didn't teach themselves or their sons or their offspring to be leaders or men that have leadership skills or traits, like how to check a woman, how to teach a woman how to respect you and how to communicate with you. So there's a lot of pieces that were missing because you go back to the Nation of Islam and to them pro-black people, they teach those men how to be providers, suckers, and tricks, and they'll show you how to get a good woman, but they don't teach you how to they don't teach you what to do when that woman is stepping out of line or what to do when that woman is being disrespectful. Now, I don't know how Nation of Islam behind the pandering they do. I don't know what those men actually do in a relationship, but based upon what they present in their pandering, it sounds like they don't teach the men how to lead or be an authority in their household. It sounds like they teach the men how to be a simp and follow the woman. But that's my take on that.
That have, because there's still gonna be some hoes out here. Niggas are still
Of
gonna do what they do.
course. That's not
So,
what I
but
asked you about the whole.
I know, but you asking me about most of the women that will close their legs, and I'm telling you, and my stance is no. One of the examples that we see is some of the guys that have the most access to the most women still fuck with the same women that all of the other dudes is fucking with.
Yep.
And that's from the NBA players to the entertainers. They all passing around the same hoes, even though they have access
I've heard
to more
dudes in
women.
these spaces say if a chick had 100 bodies, they'd still wife her up and fuck with her as long as the chick with 100 bodies respect him and treat him correctly. I've heard niggas in these spaces say that. And the niggas who are saying that, these niggas are coming from sex culture, hookup culture, and they're participating in open relationships or lifestyles that the majority of the men are not participating. And those men who are participating in that kind of sex culture lifestyle, they're telling niggas like me, myself, Anton Daniels, or Anger Man, that something is wrong with us and we're insecure. So maybe we need to do a evaluation of which percentage of men are out here taking the market. Is it majority of us, or is it the minority? Because the men, the niggas that are engaging in hookup culture and engaging into open relationships, non-monogamous relationships, or sex culture, that's not the majority of the men. That's not the majority of the black men. Now, is that saying that the majority of black men are not out here dealing with women or dating women or they can't get women? No. That's just saying that even though you have the majority of the black men that are engaging with women, they're not out here engaging in the context of sex culture or 304 lifestyle or 304 mongering lifestyle, I should say, or open relationships. From my point of view, from my perspective, and I could be wrong. It's based upon what I'm seeing, right? And I think objectively, when you look at it, I think objectively, I think is that it's again, like I said earlier, I think it's a small minority of men that are coming from the sex culture, that are coming from all of that, that's influencing the regular dudes and telling the regular dudes that there's something wrong with us because we don't want a chick that is engaging in that or has these huge body counts. That's a problem because that's not where black culture was trying to go during the 60s, during the 50s, during the 40s, during the 70s, during the 80s, and during the 90s. We were trying to go into a more traditional setting. Somewhere along the track, we got derailed from that, and now we're here in the debauchery. You know what I'm saying? So I'm also getting tired of that. I'm also getting tired of other men on this YouTube telling regular niggas we're insecure because we're not interested in partaking in your 304 mongering thing, or we ain't smashing at all, or something wrong with our masculinity, or we weak. That's because I don't believe in your way of life. Don't mean I'm weak or I'm any much less of a man than you. I just don't believe in your fucking lifestyle. And just like you can influence the women to go out here and be 304s, I can influence the women to be good women. A lot of women to be free to pick my influence or be influenced by me. Just like the women are allowed to be influenced by you. So, anyway.
Women than any of us could ever imagine. Why is that?
Yep.
It's a reason for that shit. And the nature of people is to do what they gonna do regardless and to find a
Mika,
way.
camera not working.
And so,
Mika, your
although
camera
I
not
think
working,
that
bro.
would help
We trying to see what's going on over
significantly,
there.
of course, I don't think that men that are determined to do things the way that they're gonna do it is gonna do it any differently. Just as much as I don't think that it's gonna, you know what I'm saying, force some women to do anything differently than what they're gonna do based off of what they want to do. And so
See,
I think that people gonna find a way.
And
Listen, it's
and and see, that's what I call that because again, women are very subjective, so they're going to respond based upon who they are first before they respond to the environment. And at the same time, they're going to still respond based upon what's presented to them in that environment. But they can also choose not to respond to what's presented. They can go find something else somewhere else. So if a chick is a woman and she's trying to be traditional, right? If hookup culture or 304 culture is there, she's going to choose not to respond to that. She's going to respond to herself and be disciplined and go find traditional men that she can respond to somewhere else. But if now she is a 304, she is a basically out here trying to be a raggedy straggedy straggle and raggedy taggedy hyena straggedy, right? She's gonna respond to the men that present themselves as 304 monger or player or pimp or Mac. You see what I'm saying? Same thing goes for the men. The men are going to lead based upon who they are, and they're going to lead based upon who they are, and they're going to present themselves based upon who they are and what they're about. So if they're a traditional guy, they're going to present themselves as that traditional guy. The problem is that in black culture, when black men present themselves as a traditional guy, a lot of the women respond to those traditional guys as, okay, he's a sucker. Okay, he's a trick. Okay, he's somebody I can play and I can use. And although I agree that those men have to be responsible with themselves so that doesn't happen, that still does not, I should say, like I said earlier on in this video, that those women should have a consequence or punishment for taking advantage of those traditional guys. They should either lose some dating points. They should not be able to date for a year because guess what? Because when you got a job, right, and you steal something from the boss, even though the boss has to take the steps to make sure that doesn't happen again, you, the employee, still get punished from stealing from the boss. Or if you violate the king's castle, the king gonna make sure to hire more guards. He gonna make sure security measures have increased. But guess what? You're still gonna get punished for violating the king. So
dudes every day. You can get boxed for free, but niggas still go to prostitutes. Why?
you
You can go and watch porn for fucking free on the internet, and niggas pay for OnlyFans. Why? Because when niggas is determined to do what the fuck that they want to do, they still gonna do what the fuck they want to do, bro.
facts.
Anton, you saying it in a nice way. These niggas.
Before Angry Man says it, that's the delusion that I think the Nation of Islam and all these pro-blacks have fed to women, that through sex they can control a man or manipulate a man into doing what they want him to do. And the only man that that's going to work on is the sucker or the nice guy. It's not going to work on a nigga that got strong leadership skills and know what he do and govern himself. That's why a lot of you good women lose a lot of the good dudes nowadays, because the good men have learned that that's what you're doing, and once they see you doing that, they're going to leave you alone. But that again is the delusion that has been fed to women, that because you guys control the box, you can control the men. And then what black culture has done is that it has trained black men to move according to that. So that's why it had been working for a minute. I'm sorry, ladies, you can't use your box to control no man. And y'all have figured that out the hard way. Y'all have figured that out the hard way. Either you try to use that box to control some dysfunctional nigga and it blew up in your face, or use that box to control a solid dude and he broke up with you because he's seeing that all you are is just sex, or all you got was a sucker or a nice guy or a trick that you could disrespect and control, and you broke up with that. So that's the delusion that has been fed to women, and I'm going to call out the sources that it has came from. A lot of that comes from the Nation of Islam because it keeps saying that in order to a nation can raise no higher than its women. And when you teach a man, you teach an individual, but when you teach a woman, you teach a nation. Last time I checked, in order for that nation, for the women to give birth to a nation, that man has to give her the spark or the keys to activate her eggs or nation of eggs. Because his sperm is going to give those nation of eggs life. So a nation might not raise no higher than its woman, but a woman is not going to raise no higher than a comprehensive man. And when you teach a man, you teach more than an individual because that individual has to lead that nation or guide that nation in a proper direction. So when you educate a man, you educate a how should I say the saying? Like you teach a man to fish, he'll feed the village. When you educate a man, he'll educate the here you go. When you educate a man, he'll educate that nation. When you educate a man, he'll educate that nation. When you educate a woman, when you educate a woman, you educate a well, damn. It's kind of the same thing. Because it's saying when you teach a woman, you teach a nation. But when you teach a man, you teach an individual. But if you teach a man, he himself will teach that nation. When you teach a man, he'll educate his woman, and his woman will educate that nation. That's what should have been said. When you educate a man, he'll educate that woman, and she'll educate that nation. Nation being the children or what she gives birth to. But she got to take programming and structure and instructions from a man. That man has to be educated properly on how to teach that woman so she could teach the children. But anyway,
Niggas like hoes. How you supposed to find these niggas like hoes?
Yup.
How you supposed to
I
find
know
a
they do.
if all you fucking with is hoes? How you supposed to find a wife?
Yup.
I keep
I
telling you,
said
I
this
only
earlier.
See,
I
I
don't
talked
one
about
woman
this
in
earlier
2
on
years,
in the
especially
stream,
some
right? For you good women, I agree with you saying you don't want to give up the box on the first day, and you have the option to do that. But if you want that man to take you seriously, you have to do something different. Because as I explained earlier, the Strags are doing the same thing you doing. They saying they ain't smashing. They saying they ain't out here being a 3 or 4. Meanwhile, they doing the same thing. Meanwhile, this guy is taking her out on a date. After that date, she's gonna go smash Billy Bob, Joe, Tyrone, Jermaine, Jerome, Andre, Pookie, Ray Ray, Riri, and Man, and them. That's what she's doing. And that guy has a right to say, once he finds us out, he has a right to say, I don't want to deal with this. So for you good woman out there that's saying you don't want to give up the box or join the 3 or 4s, you have to do something different. And you can't be operating off of I'm gonna use my box to control no nigga. Just like we tell the men how you lead is how you finish. Well, to the women, how you submit is going to determine if you qualify.
my son being here. I
You
ain't
a
been
damn
entertaining her.
lie. You
I'm
a
not.
lie.
I'm telling the honest God truth.
You
That's
lying.
why
Why you ain't marrying her?
Why who?
Why you ain't marrying her?
It's a whole nother story too. It's the same reason what we talking about right here about the cooperation part. You either fully cooperating or you're not getting no marriage.
Wait.
You didn't know
So
that. You didn't know that operating before you met.
No. So this is what we keep talking about, the switching bait. where women will do everything you want when in liking period. And soon as they get with you, they switch up and they try to get you to acquiesce to them.
Boy,
And you start fighting with
that's
you start
Okay, so let me
fighting
ask you this.
with
Let
the
me ask you this.
relationship.
Hold on. So let me ask you
bait and
this.
switch.
Have you ever
That's what
heard
it's called.
women? Hold on,
I agree with that.
Hold on, it's okay. Have you ever heard women talk about the switch and bait?
The switch and
I
bait.
have.
Yeah, but
When
you
you
know how you
ask them
protect
about
Bait and
when you
switch.
ask them about why they hold on, when you ask them about their baby daddies and why they got this and that, and they'll say, "Oh, when I met him, he was like this and like that, and then he switched, and now I have these kids, and so on and so on." And y'all still will sit there and say you should have vetted them.
them because most men
So
don't
what's
change.
the difference?
Most men don't change. She didn't really get to know that guy. She let him bust it down
Because
so she could get
they,
leverage.
those
Hold on, I'm telling
women
you. Hold
knew,
on.
those women,
You asked
those
what
The
the
women
difference
is.
is the
women.
difference is when a man does it, right? We get held accountable and we get punished for that. The problem is that the women don't get punished. That all we tell them to do is vet better. But I do agree with you saying that a lot of guys would bait and switch. But I think what Ali was saying, he was saying that, well, the reason why I didn't marry her or get into a relationship with her is because she did that. With the woman he's dating is because she did a bait and switch. Bait and switch. So Ali took it, was being responsible with himself and said, you know what, she bait and switch. I'm not going to give her access to a relationship from me. So Mika, he was actually doing what you said to do earlier, which is not deal with chicks that are moving in a certain way. Now, I agree with you, Mika. We tell those women that they should have vet better, but a lot of they should have vet better, right? But typically, those men are not going to. Those men are not going to change. They were going to be the same thing, right? Well, let me hold on, because I got to think about that because I have seen that part of the game too. I have seen niggas because I'm from Brooklyn again. I'm from New York, so I've seen niggas do that bait and switch. But a lot of times, the men tell those women exactly who they are, what type of time they on, and those women will still foolishly follow that, right? But Mika Ali was doing what you was talking about earlier, where he just said that I was dating a chick, she bait and switch, and because she didn't do what she was supposed to do, and she didn't cooperate, I had to take away access to a relationship from her. Which Ali, you gave that was the solution from earlier. That's the solution that a lot of men can do that y'all was talking about earlier, right? So
Most women don't.
Go ahead.
Most women are engaging with men to get leverage when they have sex with them. The only way you could actually show a man that you love him is you listen to him. Most of those women want to listen to those brothers.
Ali, do you want to be married?
What?
Do I want to be married?
Yes,
No.
sir.
As the title? No.
Oh, so what are we talking about?
Oh,
You,
well,
you,
then
ask,
that's
you
why
gotta
you
ask
ain't
me.
never been married.
No. But you put in the title. If the way marriages today has changed, of course I'd be in a marriage. But I do want a woman. Like I love women. It's
You don't
imperative
want to
be
be
a woman.
married, Ali. So what are we talking
I don't
about?
want no Anton. Make sure we saying the same thing. The today's state of marriage is not for men. The women can women push for marriage and then they push for divorce. I don't want that situation. I don't want to
I'm
be in
not
the
asking, do you want to get into a situation where you will get divorced? I'm saying in an ideal scenario, do
in a
you want to
perfect
get
situation. Oh
yeah,
yeah,
do you want to get married?
in an ideal situation, of course.
Yeah, that's all I'm asking.
Yeah, ideal. Actual marriage, of course. But that ain't what we in today.
I think men get what they want if they really want it.
yeah,
I think the argument that, oh well, when you get with a chick, she gonna do X, Y, Z, blah, blah, blah. It's like if she's showing you that, then why are you continuing to waste your time dealing with her?
You already admitted to that. Man,
Anger man, this what you be on right here, anger man. You see that?
What I be on? I can't tell what that is. What is that? Wolverine claws in the table? What is that?
Oh, it's some
I know.
bull. You act like you be on them type of drugs when you be talking about these women.
White lies. White lies. No,
I'm
y'all
just-
know. Y'all know.
I'm-
It's just a Friday. Well, I don't know what's going on with Anton and Angry Man, but they usually
What did I?
yeah, Angry Man is intelligent. Try to Rico niggas on the internet, nigga. Just forget wrong with you.
Y'all know you.
Yeah,
You like logic over
they
there.
over here playing. They over here playing devil's
listen,
advocate.
dog, I hold women accountable all the time.
So does Angry Man 2K.
That don't mean that men can't be held accountable too.
I agree with you 100%, Anton. But most of these women ain't even giving relationships to where the man is leading. The man don't even have no leading power. He's leading the relationship. He has to fight.
And that's
Okay,
his
cool.
fault. That's his fault.
No,
It's not his fault. Stop blaming it on
That's
him.
his fault. No, wait. How do you deal with a woman that don't listen to you? How do you deal with a woman that don't listen? Hold on, wait. So let me ask you this. When you go out and you at the bar and you tell a woman, hey, it's time to roll. If she doesn't leave if she ain't ready to pick up and go right then and there, when you tell her to leave, where's she gonna end up at?
We already agree with that point.
No. Okay. Just answer the question. Where does she end up at? What you gonna do?
Right there, she's getting left.
Okay. So then how do you not get a woman to listen to you? If she knows wait. If she knows, wait,
you ain't been asked questions all night.
Wait. You gotta let me finish though, bro. You got to let me finish. So if you know you got that kind of power,
okay,
why aren't you exuding it all the time? Why aren't you using this power all the time?
I agree. I'm trash. I got horrible leadership qualities. How about you? Why you not married?
I found a woman. I didn't find a woman recently because I actually found a woman that I should have married.
No.
Wait. Answer. You want me to answer your question? Because I was way back in college. It was an African girl. She loved me. She loved me. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because she was African, and I was just like, no, she lame. She always around certain type of people. I don't like them. I liked her though, and I didn't take advantage of that.
You messed that up. So right now, why you not married?
I ain't found her again. That's probably I probably blew my blessing.
Checkmate, hey 2K, checkmate.
How's that checkmate?
It's not checkmate.
I fucked it up. I fucked it up though. I had a good woman and blew it.
It's not checkmate.
You know what's funny? The only man that
how many chances do you think you're gonna get to get a good woman? How many chances do you think you get to find your soulmate?
That's another checkmate. You still check.
How many chances do you think you get?
Hey, Anton, he messing up your argument.
No, I'm not messing up no argument. That's my own argument.
You said how many chances do we have to find a good woman?
How many chances do you think you get to find your soulmate before it's just like you just gonna be out there?
2K, no, listen, Ali, 2K.
Hold on, it's the dark skinned nigga versus the light skinned nigga. It's the Sith versus the Jedi going on over here, and I guess he the gray Jedi up here, and I don't know. It's the Sith and the Jedi that's working together up here or something.
It's trolling you because
2K
is married.
He know that.
2K just keep it real.
Ali, let me ask you a question. Ali,
let me tell y'all about 2K. When 2K is crazy,
yeah.
But when 2K turn off this string, 2K go and cuddle, and he probably the little spoon.
I love this. I love being a little spoon. I ain't gonna lie. You got me there. Okay.
Hey,
don't take.
Ali, let me ask you a question. So,
go ahead, man.
Would you say, like, when you see all of the women online or whatever talking about,
Angry Man do a silent pause,
and he probably
this silent pause right here.
But when
anytime he do this silent pause right here, he take a minute to ask, trying to find something. He trying to process how to respond to Ali, and then after he found the response, then he call out the person he trying to respond to. Every time he do this pause.
2K turn off this string,
Watch.
2K go and cuddle, and he probably the little spoon.
I love this. I love being a little spoon. I ain't gonna lie. You got me there. Okay.
Hey,
don't take.
Ali, let me ask you a question. So,
go ahead, man.
Would you say, like, when you see women online or talking about all of these men out here raggedy, ain't none of them no good, blah, 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 Would you agree with that? Did you agree that the dudes out here ain't shit?
No,
It's a
they
lot
the
of
ones.
ain't shit
They're the
dudes.
most. They're the most. No, 2K. No, most of them are the ones who smashing. The good dudes ain't smashing. The garbage
Okay.
dudes is smashing.
So if you you're
Same
telling me
thing.
you're telling me that if women genuinely wanted a good dude,
Mhm.
they would be able to find one.
Of course, 100%.
Absolutely.
Nigga. That's checkmate,
Yeah,
nigga.
that's checkmate.
That's
No,
checkmate.
absolutely.
How?
If you really
How?
wanted to find a good woman, you would find one, nigga.
No,
That's
you said a
checkmate.
woman. That ain't no. That's the horrible checkmate, man. Angry man. If
No,
a
it's
woman
not.
really wanted a good man, she
No,
could find a good man. Most men
And,
can't find good women. No, that you
no,
that's
Angry Man.
that's
what you're doing,
Yeah.
hold on for a second. I gotta call this shit out. You're doing the same shit the women do.
how.
Yeah,
You're just doing it in reverse.
No,
yeah.
all three of us said y'all changed your answers. My brother admitted he can't find another soulmate. 2K, even though he married, admits it's hard to find good women, and he still goes back and forth with his woman in his relationship. Y'all
No.
tell the good parts of the hold on. Y'all tell the good parts of the marriage. Anton got the most perfect marriage I ever heard in my life, but married men don't come out here and talk about what really happened in their marriages. They don't talk about when the wife holds out sex on you, when she don't want to cook, when she want to
I
take a
have
break,
never ever
when she
had
ignores
sex
you.
held out
I
on
know.
me. I've never had her say that she don't want to cook. I've never had that problem at all whatsoever, bro.
But you
Man, I need to find me a Rita out here. I need to find me a woman like that.
do
I
know
hear you.
you are a ratchet. And I ain't saying that ain't my situation. I have different issues like with back talk and stuff, but that's just me being but I like
But see, it's logical because why would she want to hold out on sex if she likes sex too? That don't even make sense.
but you gotta understand at some point though that becomes a chess on the motherfucking
No, it's
checkerboard.
not. She likes sex. I like sex. Why would we hold out on sex? We
So you
actually like
saying
each
women
other.
don't use that against men when they want something they weigh, Anton?
Listen, you said me. I'm only speaking on my
No, I said
situation.
your marriage perfect, man. Ain't nothing wrong with your marriage. Well, you ain't got to talk about your marriage no more. It's the most perfect marriage in the
It
history of
sure
marriage.
fucking is. It's great as hell. I
Y'all
love
take
it.
nap time. Y'all got nap times.
We do take naps together.
Y'all eat cotton candy on weekends at the
Facts.
amusement
All right,
park
I
that's
Facts.
can't, I
out of
can't
state.
Dog,
rebuke you
I
Like
am one step
because I'm
away.
supposed to be playing Battlefield a little bit, so I want to take a break from this. Um, let me go to this part. I gotta say something to you, like,
The
Ali,
Black Messiah, how you the Black Messiah wifing up a mixed queen, and then
Drake won't lose no steam.
I ain't gonna lie, Anger Man. If you watch this show, I wasn't really interested in the Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef, so I didn't really watch your shows when you was doing that. But I think I've drawn a couple of them, but um, this is why you didn't see me in your chat room too often. Because in my opinion, the whole Drake versus Kendrick Lamar, like it doesn't excite me like the early 2000s rap beef when you have 50 going against Ja Rule and um all those rap beefs of old. I can't really think of those names that were against each other. Because I'm a dancehall, so I'm a Jamaican nigga, so I'm with dancehall. So when Gully versus Gaza was going around, and you have Vibes Carter versus Movado. That was a very hyper, direct Vado going at Vibes Cartel going at it. So that's what I'm used to. So when Drake and Kendrick Lamar was going at each other, I kind of wasn't interested into it. As you know, dancehall reggae artists, when they go at it, they go at it. But yeah. But as far as the whole Drake versus Kendrick, like I'm not really interested into that because Kendrick is up there, but Euphoria putting up love poems and writing love letters and shit to niggas, and some of the punchlines in there were good, but no. Um, I fuck with Drake though, but he tried to go at my artist Movado. Movado would have ate him alive. Just saying. Pause. No Diddy. But but yeah.
none.
Um,
cheek laughing at you pussies dying. It's a war cry.
Mm. Ali don't like that.
It's good bar. It was good, but I didn't say it's good bars.
What do you say?
Ali don't like that.
It's good.
And it's a war cry.
Mm.
Like tears running down my cheek laughing at you pussies. War cry.
Mm. Ali don't like that.
It's good bar. It was good, but I didn't say it's good bars.
Ali, how you got the dark skinned nigga sided with the light skinned nigga, and you sided with the dark skinned nigga? What kind of bizarre world is this, man? Ali, you supposed to be biased with the light skinned niggas off GP during this battle. Y'all should be Drake all the way. But okay,
like that.
But you said where was the bars at? Like that.
You like
if
LeBron
Kendrick.
Straight up.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm done with this. We'll stop sharing. I did 3 hours, damn. But as I was saying, this is why black men is failing. Because as Angry Man pointed out, and as Anton Daniels pointed out, is that a lot of brothers they be in relationship with women that they see don't listen to them, and they still be there. And I think that comes from the training of black men and black culture, and the programming them to deal with disrespect for women to think that that's normal. And that's why 2K could come at this point. We're talking about disciplining women. You have to put your hands on them or something. Which, no. Because in reality, that doesn't serve black men and their masculinity at all. You know what I'm saying? All that's going to do is just bring us back or contribute to the goofy ass space we're in today. I do agree there should be some kind of punishment reward system within the dating market where if the women lie or they cheat or they be disrespectful or a guy takes them out on a date and she's not interested in the guy so she plays him or whatever, because the purpose of a date market is to go there and date people, find people you're interested into and get into a relationship. That's for regular people. I don't know what you sex culture motherfuckers do, but for regular folks that trying to date each other, they're dating each other to trying to find a relationship with a person that likes them and respects them, right? So when you have women out here who are hyenas or strags dating guys with the intentions of shortcutting the game out to date them, after the guy has said that, look, listen, I'm looking for a good chick, monogamy, I'm dating intentional, I'm looking for a good woman, and then she lies to this guy, and now she's out there being a 304 while presenting him a different image. That should be punishment for that. It's not his fault that she chose to respond to this good dude who told her and was honest about who he was and what he was about. It's not his fault that she chose not to respect him. It's her fault that she chose to respond to him by running game on him or by whatsoever. Now, it's still on him to hold himself responsible that when he finds out that she's not moving or responding to him in a proper way, that he should get away from that situation. But there still should be some kind of punishment system in the dating game where you lose some kind of credit. You can't date for a year if you lie to several dudes, or because there's a punishment for men. When we lie to a chick, we get exposed. Did he get in trouble right now? Regular dudes, when we lie to a chick, when we lead the chick in the wrong direction, we get punished for that. We get held accountable for that. So there should be some kind of system that holds women accountable. Like if you run a red light, you got a speeding ticket. Well, if you lied to a guy on a date or you were being dishonest, right? You should pay some type of fine for that for the women, or you shouldn't be able to date for a year. You got to go to a therapy, right? Or you got to go to a class or something. But anyway, this is Kish, Yardie Gaming Nation. Shout out to the Angry Man channel. Shout out to Anton Daniels. Shout out to Mika. Shout out to Quentin. Shout out to Ali. Shout out to everybody that was on the panel. Thank you for those of you who stopped in and clicked and like. Please subscribe. Please share. Please support the channel and donate something. All right. Shout out to y'all.